right. And we are back, everybody, to the What Do You Mean By That podcast episode number. Do you guys know?
No idea.
It's 37. Close.
Again.
Close. I wish I was 21 again. I bet Dana's this too. Anyway,
Going
welcome
backwards.
back. Speaking of Dana, he's here.
Why am I catching strays?
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's been calling Dana old recently.
I know, right?
Yeah, man, crazy, Tim. Yeah, that's crazy.
That wasn't me last time, though.
I didn't call him old either.
I don't condone this slander.
I know you're gonna attack me right now because you think I did, but I didn't.
You called him old, and
I did not.
I said Dana's not even that old.
No, I didn't say
Not
Dana
even
was
that
old.
That's such
You
backhanded.
called Marty was like Dana only has like 4 years left.
I
to live, and
didn't
said,
say
"Oh,
that.
Dana's gonna live longer
He
than
didn't even
I'm
mention
sure
me
I
by
never
name
mentioned
when
his
this
name
happened. He
at
said
all.
something about 40-year-old men playing the game, and then you said Dana's not even that old. You threw my name in that ring.
I didn't do that. That's not what happened.
That is 100% what happened.
That is what
No, I
happened.
said Dana has a long life ahead of him.
Oh,
But you still name dropped it.
great. You still put me in that ring.
No, I didn't say that he's mentioned you. I just mentioned that you have a long
Right after he was talking about 40-year-old men. And then you're
Yeah,
like,
but, like,
Dana's got a long life ahead of him. And then, like, in the tone of, like, oh, he does.
Dana's got like a long 4 years left.
Yeah,
A long
exactly.
4 years.
but do you not have a long life ahead of you? Like,
I don't fucking know. Depends on if I... Depends on how things go for me in the near future, I suppose.
Yeah, how many cars hit him?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
how
What
many
if
more
it's bound to
years do you
stick?
think that you could survive, like people hitting you with cars? Like, at what point do you think like you use that you lose?
cars-
I
cars?
think I'm good till I'm like 60. If I get hit by a car at 60, I'm dust. Like,
Oh yeah, no,
like
'cause that's around the age where if you break a hip, you just die. That's
yeah, it's like I'm like a bag of like meat in glass at that point. Like
Those cars are attracted to you like magnets.
they are. They really
Yeah.
are.
A lot of instances running into cars.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not gonna say that like it's good that you got hit by a car, but it would have been better if like you got hit by like a city bus just like once and survived, because then you'd be set for life.
You get your
online.
bag, bro. Yeah, honestly. Just do it one more time, Dana. One more time. Just one more time.
Yeah, like you'd like yeah,
He's
like,
gonna
What
be
a
like the guy
job.
out of glass and SpongeBob all wrapped up in.
yeah, but like hear me out. You accept the fact that you have broken bones for like a couple weeks, right? But you just
That
have to,
broken
like,
bones are a couple weeks to mend, my guy.
No. But if you beat the city in a lawsuit, you know how much money that is for getting hit by a bus?
You'd be set, bro. Just one more time, Dana. What's one
I
more
would
time?
rather have health.
Yeah, but you
They'll
will have
pay
your
for
help
it.
after.
I would
said
get
no.
wiped out on medical bills. It's like, okay, cool, I made all this money. And
They
that
don't
goes
pay- no.
straight
You
to a
They
cover
cover the
doctor.
medical bills. They
They'll
cover
cover
bills
it.
as well.
I don't know about that.
They do.
They
No,
have
like there's
to.
like a
You'll have a crazy settlement.
Yeah.
It would be a ridiculous settlement. You would have
there,
enough
like,
money
data
to
on
pay your
this?
medical bills like 40 times over.
I know my next move when I'm out delivering. Just look for a nearby city bus. Just jump.
What's
I want to see if
the
there's data on this.
It's gonna be like Dana versus Wade, but not Wade. It's like Dana versus the government of
city.
Indiana. City of Indiana, yeah.
So apparently, if it's a severe accident, you could get around 200 to 750,000.
That's lots of money than I would have thought.
If it's a minor accident, you get 20,000.
It's not gonna be in the millions, there's no way.
I thought it would be millions.
That's still kind of
Usually-
life changing for somebody like
Yeah, that'd
Dana,
still be
yeah.
life changing money, but it's like so is having both my legs shattered from a bus. That's also life changing.
Yeah, how much is your life really worth? Like,
What do you mean?
That's crazy.
yeah,
I-
like,
That's insane.
I enjoy
How much do
going
you
for
value
walks
yourself?
and shit. Yeah, I know, right?
yeah, you go
That's
on a walk,
actually like a huge fear of mine is like losing a limb. That shit scares
all
me.
your limbs.
Hey,
Or, like,
any.
Which limbs are you like scared to lose?
any.
This question is like,
if
how
I
much-
if I lose a leg, I'm not walking around
What about
anymore.
like a toe?
That's not a.
No,
That's
I'm
an
wondering
appendage,
like
not a
I
limb.
know, but I'm wondering if appendages count in this situation.
I wouldn't be happy about it, but I could live with losing
about,
like
like, a
a
foot?
pinky toe.
What
I
about-
would. I can't walk around without a foot, Tim.
That's
Yes, you can.
prosthetics.
I'm trying to figure out what do
Yeah.
you really need. What
Yeah,
do you
I'm trying to
really
figure
need
out like
just
where
get
do you
by?
draw the line? Like
If I
for
lose
me,
a hand, it's like I can't. I
I'd
can't
rather
do
lose a foot
anything
than a hand.
leg-wise.
I'd rather lose a foot.
I'd
than a
lose
hand.
a foot over a hand for sure too.
But I love, like, I grew up like running and shit like that,
Yeah, but
right?
you could
So
do
like,
that, Dana. Did you not watch this? Was it the Paralympics? Whatever it is, where like they run without no legs.
yeah, I got one of those sweet spatula foot. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, so like you can still go outside and go on walks.
You
I
can
don't
flip
think you're
burgers
just-
My
and run.
OnlyFans career for feet would be gone too.
I think you'd be reaching out to a different group of people.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
At the very
There'd be
least, you can
people
make your
still into
VTuber
it.
have a peg leg. That'd be pretty sick.
No, I don't want a peg leg.
We can get you a real life peg leg if you really wanted.
Yeah, dude.
I could cosplay Mr. Krabs.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
I think that
Become
you're
a-
not thinking of this right. Like
Just become a
you
CFP
could
streamer.
have-
I think you're thinking of this like in the worst way.
I mean,
I want to remain intact.
yeah, like you should be intact, but like worst case, you lose like knee down, you'll be fine.
Knee down is not fine.
You could still go on the walks. I don't think you
Oh
understand.
my god!
What is it?
It
Are you
is
walking
not
through
the
service?
same.
Are you going on these hikes barefoot?
I know, but like I
So
used
then
to
what's the problem?
walk around barefoot all the time.
Exactly. So you just think of it like you're barefoot all the time. You'll be fine.
That's not. I can't be barefoot without a foot.
No, but like you just have your peg leg up.
It just like clink clink clink. And just hear me walking around like that. Like I'm good. No. How do we get on this topic?
I don't know.
Yeah, change it up. No more.
Anyway,
blaming
first
me.
order of business, guys. Let's talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a minute, even though I don't really care about that much about the game, but I know Tim does. Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah.
As many of you guys know, there has been a version of the game,
Debacle.
yeah, where it costs $250 to purchase, and that actually gives you pay-to-win aspects in the game.
For for reference, the previous most expensive edition of the game was $140, which was about a $100 upgrade from the original game, but it did include it was supposed to be a season pass. Oh my god, I always mix up season pass and battle pass now in my head. It was supposed to be a season pass that would give you all future DLC for the entire life cycle of the game. It wasn't like a year one DLC. It was you're supporting us when we're at our lowest. So when the full game comes out and everything's done for the game, you get access to everything.
Yes, and now the company has released a $250 version that has pay-to-win aspects, a game mode, which is DLC, that is only playable by the players who have bought the $250 version of the game. And that this allows anybody, including those people that have bought the $140 version of the game, to play that game mode, because it's only limited to that $250 purchase version.
That's the way they did it at first. Then it was funny. So they did that. So they had I'm not gonna go into depth on what all the features are. Just know that some of them were definitely more pay to win than others. Other ones were just you're skipping probably about maybe depending on your skill level, anywhere from a week to a month's worth of progress.
Yeah.
Is roughly how much convenience it would be.
Skips
Some
the
people-
grind, which is literally what the
Yes,
game is.
there's a lot of things that you wouldn't get until you're probably level 20 minimum,
Mm.
which in Tarkov terms, that could either take you a week, that could take you a month, that could take you 2 months, depending on how much time you're putting in.
One of the crazier things for me was the raw stats. The
That
pay to
was
get raw skill was
Yeah, you did get an upgrade to raw skills. Several of your skills will start off at level 3, which in Tarkov terms is one of those things as well. That can take you time because a lot of those skills, especially gun related skills, are very hard to level up.
it takes a long fucking time.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to basically specialize in those guns to level those skills up.
Yeah. And
And then there was also
And those give
there
you
was
a direct
permanent-
advantage
Yeah, there was
because
also
it's
what was it?
So you
Sorry,
get
go
to
ahead.
keep all that after each wipe?
Yes. So you did get an increased stash size, which is whatever. That doesn't really matter.
yeah, you can get that from playing. So
Yeah,
meh.
and then but the other thing was they increased your pocket size as well, which is kind of wild.
damn.
But that wait, no, that wasn't even the wildest one. Since we are going to go into it, the wildest two things was that they were going to add an item that they went back on what they had said pretty much. So the item was going to be one that would basically make it so scavs wouldn't shoot you from a certain distance, and then the other one was going to be a thing so that way
Oh
you can call in your friends in
Oh,
the raid.
yeah, that's right. I forgot about
Then
that.
they said later they're going to add a way for people to get for everybody else to be able to do it. You just start off with these things. I don't know about the scav one, but I know for like the other one.
The scav
But-
one's huge.
That one
The
is
scav
huge.
one is huge. I think the
Because
two biggest things were the scav one and then the pockets, because the pockets there's no way to upgrade your pockets.
Yeah. Yeah, you were
oh
mentioning
wait, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
yeah. You were mentioning the other day, I think on stream, you said the scout one's really big because the only way you were able to, well, not the only way, but like a big way you were able to tell if somebody's like in a fight is because of those scavs. They're pretty loud, and they are able to spot you from like very very large distances. But
Yes.
now because of this upgrade, you can't
Yeah.
you can't even fucking tell if there's people around nearby
Yeah.
or not.
So if anybody's farther than 60 meters from a scav, they're not going to aggro on them. So like let's say sniper scavs up. Sometimes it wouldn't even be that you just needed like there was a certain information you'd get just by people being around certain things. Like if
Mhm.
sniper scavs up, you're like, oh, there's sniper scav. So you know,
Yeah,
oh,
there's
let me
sound
not
alerts.
walk in that general direction because sniper scav one of the most annoying things to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But with that upgrade, you'd never even know that that thing's up. It's not popping shots at anybody.
Yeah.
It's like
Then-
leaving the zombies up and hunt. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
way they like trigger and you know if there's somebody sneaking into the compound that you're in or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's a very similar aspect, except like give the zombies guns and they're a lot more threatening, right? Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
like
The
I got
zombies in,
fucked up by
Hunt will not
scavs more than
one-shot you.
players. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got fucked up by scavs more than players in that game. It's like
Yeah.
a shotgun scav, you're walking by, boom, your leg's gone. It's like
Yeah.
motherfucker.
You know,
And so now I'm hobbling the rest of the
Yeah.
fucking raid.
I'm somebody that has put a little over 1,000 hours into the game, which, in terms of Tarkov hours, not that many compared to other people. I still
1,000 hours
died
is a
as
lot for a
scavs.
game. Yeah.
That's
It's a
not
lot
bad.
for a game. It's not a lot for Tarkov gamers. If that, let me reword that. I have a good amount of experience with it. I still died as scavs. Even you watch like some of the best people at the game, they still died as scavs. Like it's just something that happens to you. It's just RNG. Sometimes you just eat buckshot to the mouth.
Yep.
So then they went back and they were like, oh, we're getting community backlash. This is what they decided to do afterwards. Their first iteration of the fix. They were like, what we're going to do is the people that previously bought a $140 edition of the game, you guys get access to like a lot of the stuff from the special edition for 6 months. So
What?
if you want to buy it, you can. That was their first iteration of let's fix the situation we fucked up. They were gonna give you a 6 months free trial to see if you wanted to drop an extra $100
Oh, brother.
after already spending $140.
Gargle me.
That's
what?
not the problem, though.
It was not the problem.
It's
That
that
was
they
not his
lied.
problem.
Like
Yeah. And then they
not
were
what people
like,
were complaining about.
one of the things they said was, oh, we can't. And then they were like, oh, we can't give you guys the game mode because we don't have the server infrastructure for it to handle it. So that's why it's behind the paywall. And they were like, basically saying that they can't give it to us. Even though we paid for the DLC pretty much by getting our season pass back in the day.
Huh.
Then they went through a second iteration of changes. I don't remember what they said. And I think it was the second. I think they basically went through like 2 things before they went on the final thing, which was they basically said that everybody that previously owned DoD would get it for like half off, and if you purchase like the permanent upgrade, everybody was going to get access to the game mode. It was just they were going to do it in waves, so like it'll be like over time everybody would get access to it. That had EOD in the past, which was the previous most expensive edition, which is now the second most expensive edition, but you can't buy anymore. And then with the people that had already paid full price for Unheard, they would get an extra copy of it to give to a friend if they wanted it. Which is like a minor fix. And then they were saying that like a lot of the stuff they were like, we'll give you a way to earn it. Like the
Pockets.
I don't know. Yeah, it was like I don't remember if it was the pockets as well, but I know for a fact like the calling your friends in raid was gonna be a thing that you can earn. I think maybe this scav thing. I don't know for sure. But yeah. Basically people bullied them into saying we're gonna get rid of the pay to win stuff.
I'm gonna just say it. Bag fumbled.
It was a bag.
This is
They
one of the
lost
biggest
permanent
fumbles
trust.
I've seen.
They
Like
yeah. Oh, sorry. So what were you gonna say, Dana?
no, it's just like like I mentioned this a little bit earlier before the podcast, but like any game that came out that was like a looter shooter, it was automatically always compared to Tarkov because it was like the standard, right? Like
Yes.
it had taken that space and it had made that space what it is, basically. And they just pulled their pants down and just dropped a fat one on everyone's chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you like shoot yourself in the foot like that with the community like that? Because the community is already shaky due to like the cheaters and all that shit, right? And that
Yes.
not being taken care of. So it's like they do that, and then it's like literally there's so many Tarkov-like games coming out right now
Yes.
for like $30.
There are a ton of games in the genre now that are coming out for, like you're saying, for like $30 or less, depending on the
Yeah.
one. Some of them are a little bit more half baked than others. Some of them, like the cycle, dropped for free. The cycle died. That was that
The
kinda
cycle
died.
was like 3
But the
different games.
cycle
Yeah,
died
it was
because
like 3 different
it
games.
was its own fault for dying because it decided
Yes.
to go with like there's level 1, 2, 3, 4 assault rifles, but like one of the best assault rifles like level 2 or something like that. And it had like a meta of like stuff, which is that you can't
Yeah.
have for games like this, you can't have a meta. It has to basically be that I can get really cool stuff, but even if I'm chip is like going up. Even if I'm using like the crappiest gun in the game with shit tier ammo, I can still kill like a Giga Chad and then take his shit. Like you have to feel like you can do
It's
that.
still hard to do that, but
It is still hard. Like if you have
But
like
that's
a
the
9 mil
trade-off.
pistol in most of the fights, am I gonna lose most of the time? Yeah. But could I end up taking a 0 hero run, looting some shit, or maybe I find like some dude's random dead body, somebody left some loot behind? Yeah, that's the cool
I'm
part.
gonna tell you right now, the most fun I had in Tarkov was in factory. I went in there with the heaviest armor I could get, with like the helmet with the face shield and all that shit, and I went in there with a shotgun like the Terminator. No one in there could kill me. I got shot like 40 times, and like every time I was like, I gotta be close to dead. I checked myself, and I'm like maybe 75%, and I'm like, what's happening? But like it was
Use a
just
lot of
because people
pistol
go
ammo
into
on that map.
factory with like they go into factory expecting to die, so they bring low caliber shit. They couldn't hurt me. I was literally just walking through shotgunning people. I went through one time, I got like 15 kills, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what's happening? And it's just because like if you have like good armor, small guns don't do anything to you. Like
Yeah.
you have to have the heavy shit.
Those people were also dumb because the way you deal with people like in heavy armor is you kneecap the fuck out of them. Yeah.
Good
That's
luck
how many-
kneecapping when you're eating buckshot. Like
Yeah,
it was
no,
like
I'm just saying like the way to do it would be like to kneecap somebody. Like use
Well,
high.
yeah.
The thing that you say like that you could beat somebody with a shotgun by doing that if you use like high damage flesh ammo and you just shoot somebody in the kneecaps. It'll do it to them. At the
But-
bare minimum, they could one shot your leg.
that's them coming into the raid expecting there to be a guy decked out like that.
To be
They're not
fair,
expecting it
I've
all
gone
the
in.
time, right?
I've gone in there expecting people with M4s and found people with M4s. Like it's like
No one ever expected it. Like it was just like
No,
it's
I'm just
factory.
saying, like,
People are just
my
running through
experience
like
with
stat.
factory is always
right?
like I know that there's gonna be like one Giga Chad on the map.
I was the Giga
But yeah.
Chad.
But yeah, either way, Tarkov lost a lot of faith from their community, and now like with Gray Zone basically came out. They did a playtest and they saw the Tarkov situation. They came out like a week or two later. They were like,
Yeah.
"We'll drop the game early access right
Mhm.
now."
Yep.
Is the game 100% ready?
No,
I think
No.
probably not.
No,
I
I was
bought
looking
it.
at
I
the
played it.
reviews.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's very mixed.
yeah.
very mixed reviews right now.
But here's the
I
thing:
played it a
it's got big name people playing it,
Yep.
Yes,
and that's what
Yeah,
matters.
it's
It
It's
is
gonna bring the
early access.
traction.
just any new thing
It's
comes
using
out.
Gray Zone's actually using the same exact pay scaling, same exact additions pretty much as Tarkov's old scaling, except it
Oh, yeah,
ends
'cause
at like $40 cheaper because the
They
way
have
it used
different
to,
paid versions of it,
Yes.
tiers.
Yep, because Tarkov's old highest edition used to cost $140. To buy the highest edition in this game costs about $100. Will this game stand the test of time to be the true Tarkov killer? Probably not. I think it's fun. Probably more fun with friends, which is why I'm going to try it out eventually with friends if anybody buys it. But
You already
it does
played it?
need time. Yeah,
He already has it, yeah.
I had to try it. It's Tarkov game. I try almost if I don't try every extraction shooter, I at least watch gameplay on them to see if they're worth even looking into because I think extraction shooter is really fun. But
Red Incursion is the other one that I think was
Yeah.
really good.
that one was on sale for like $10 the other day. I was like, maybe I'll get it. I don't know. Be like, yeah. But the thing is that the issue with the Tarkov thing to me is not just that Tarkov lost its faith. I think we're entering a time where more and more companies are going to try to pull shit like this because I think maybe like a week or two before this situation had even started was it EA? Who's doing that new Star Wars game? Is it EA?
Ubisoft.
I imagine it's EA.
The Star Wars
The
Outlaws. Game.
Outlaws?
Yes.
Mm,
They also had a crazy situation with their prices on the game because that one started at 70, and if you wanted to play it 3 days early or 3 days early and get the DLC mission, that was a day one DLC mission. It was like $110 or something ridiculous.
Bro,
Yeah, it's Ubisoft.
Day one DLC is the scummiest shit I've ever seen.
Day one DLC is scummy, but day one's DLC for over 110. Like you want it for in 3 days early access. Like some of the editions were pretty much basically like to get like some minor stuff in like early access and like the day one DLC. Let me look up if I can find the Star Wars Outlaws.
yeah, I'm just
I
scared
just-
that this is gonna be a new precedent where it's just gonna
Yeah.
all these good studios are just gonna charge insane amounts for like these stupid perks that you
it's
get.
Oh, the
gonna be
based on
100.
the
Okay, so
number.
this is by the. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. So
No,
they
you're
had the standard edition with $70 with a pre-order bonus. Then the gold edition, $110 with the pre-order bonus, 3-day early access, and the season pass. Then you get
It's a season
the
pass. Okay. Yeah, that sounds
Ultimate
normal.
Edition is $130. Base game, pre-order bonus, 3-day early access, season pass, and then like two basically looks like bundles of I'm guessing like skins is what it looks like, and a digital art book. $130 for that. Back in the day, if you bought the most expensive editions of games, it would either come with like the steel art box, like the steel box. It would come with like the special editions and all that stuff. Also, wouldn't cost this much, depending on the one. Some of them would cost about this much, if not more. But it would be like you'd get like what was it, Black Ops? Which Black Ops was that had the fucking nuke, the fridge? Was it Black Ops
Probably
or was it
2.
or was it
It's
Fallout?
probably Black Ops 2, no?
I think so.
That
One of them
kind
had
of
like a
Never
mini
even bought
died
those.
when everything went digital, though. Right?
No,
Like,
no games still do these editions because I've bought them.
it's yeah, it they still do, but it's way more rare than it
The
used
collector's
to be,
editions,
right?
that's what they were called.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like they're way more rare than they used to be, and they're just not as quality, right? Like
Yeah. They're not
Those
giving
are
the
the
same effort as they
I
did
can't
before.
think of one in the last 5 years. It's been like,
I want that.
whoa,
Yeah.
like how
Yeah.
like the Halo, like you got Master Chief's fucking helmet and shit like that. Like they just don't do shit like that anymore, really.
Just for reference, the Doom Eternal Collector's Edition, when it dropped, came with a full helmet of the Doom guy. It was $200, but it also came with like all the DLC and everything like that. And then the edition, yeah, I think the edition that came with like all the DLC and everything was like $90. But that is still $40 more expensive for Outlaws. Which is probably not as good as the game. It's Doom. You're not gonna be better than Doom. Doom Eternal is like
I don't know what I've never even heard of this Star Wars game. I'm gonna be honest with you.
What is it supposed to be?
I don't know. But it's just crazy that like Decky was saying, like the precedent's being set. Like, let's see how much we can fuck these people and they'll still buy the game.
Well, okay. I do also I dislike the day one DLC stuff, right? But I'm looking at this pre-order, right? And this just does seem standard to me, right? Like
It's standard what they come with, but it's the prices. That's the issue.
pre-order bonus, sure. Season pass, most season passes come out like $30 now, so you're just paying for that upfront.
Our season
basically.
passes, but I feel like we haven't had season passes in a while. Like in certain games, because they've switched to more doing a battle pass. Not that I want battle pass in single player games, but a lot of games have switched to doing battle passes, and you get like a lot of the DLC for free. So I think season passes have not died out, but they're more uncommon.
The season pass for Borderlands 3 was $30.
Borderlands 2 was also a $60 game. How much was
I think
Borderlands?
that
Borderlands
one
3 was a
70,
79.
Yeah.
or a $70 game. Yeah.
$70.
Borderlands 3 was not a
Wow.
$70 game. That game did not come out back then. At 70.
I thought it
I
did.
can't remember what the first $70 game was.
I'll Google it.
That kind of set that new price point. That was recent, I know for sure. I don't think it was that far back.
Yeah, no. Borderlands 3 released at $60.
That was the deluxe I'm looking at, $79.99. Okay.
Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition.
I don't think it was like Call of Duty. I know it was one of them, but
Could have been.
Tears of the Kingdom was $70.
Yeah, right here.
Was it Nintendo
That was Nintendo, but I don't know if it
that
was.
started that?
I don't know if it was Nintendo that started it.
Borderlands 3 season pass right now is $15, but it's because it's slashed out from its original price of $50
It was 50
for just the season pass. Yes, $50 for the season
To be
pass.
fair, that's
insane.
Gearbox. Gearbox is a piece of shit company. Sometimes.
Like the season passes are generally around like $30, which if you look at this, the only thing they stapled on 3-day early access and season pass, what, $40? Which
Yeah, but that's for the one edition up. But then they had another edition of that was like an extra $20.
yeah, but that's like
Listen,
a bunch of items and
but I
games
think
like
that-
that.
They're increasing the price of games, but then also like it's still a lot of money to drop. on
Yeah,
just
it
one thing.
is a lot of money to drop. Like it absolutely is, but like as far as like I can't judge them for the season pass thing when like that's like a pretty standard price for a season pass. Like even as
It's
far
not-
back as fucking Borderlands 3, right? Whenever that came out. Like that was just like the quickest
That
way I can think
is-
of off the top of my head.
That is fair, but season passes have always been roughly around 20, anywhere from 20 to like let's say 40 at max. I don't know exactly.
I thought like season passes were generally 25, so that's why I was
That's what
like,
I'm saying, like anywhere in that range, because
yeah,
I think I have gotten some on the cheaper end and I've gotten some on the more expensive end, depending. But I think it's just that games are going up in price, but then they're also like bringing less stuff with certain games.
I get games going up in price, right?
Well,
Like,
no, but I'm talking about like how much stuff is coming with them sometimes, because some of the games, I feel like certain games aren't worthy of the price increase, and other games are. Like if
my
Baldur's,
problem,
let's say like Baldur's Gate 3 would have dropped at 70, I think that game would have been worth 70. But
Yeah.
like, but there's
because
also games,
they had the time, right? Like they put the time into the game to make it that good.
yes.
Like
The
that's
Star Wars
where it
Outlaws,
needs to be.
let me
The
see where this
quality needs to be worth the price. Outlaws is an Ubisoft game. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It's probably gonna be garbage. Let's
Yes,
Just-
but even
let's
like
just
Call of
be
Duty, I
real.
think is Call of Duty using the new $70 price point as well, right?
Call of Duty's
Yeah,
garbage.
they've been doing that for like the past couple.
They done it. Apparently, they did
games.
it in Modern Warfare 2. I didn't even fucking realize that.
I
It's
didn't
been
remember.
70
Probably when
for
it
like
started,
a
yeah.
bunch of them now.
It might have been
Let's
COD
be
then.
realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But let's be realistic.
It was
Modern
around that
Warfare
time.
3 does not deserve a $70 price
Of course
point.
not.
No,
absolutely
it doesn't.
not.
Let me see. What's the?
There was God of War Ragnarok, which came out in 2022, November. Oh, I guess it might have been Gotham Knights. Was probably the first one. And Gotham Knights
Was not a $70 game.
on release.
No, I think it's not worthy of $70.
Oh no, but like on release.
Yes. No, I released it with 70. My bad. Let me reword that. It was not worthy of being a $70 game
No.
released. Let's be like, my issue with the price increase, Dana, is just that like the games that are using that new price point, I would say probably 60 to 65% of them are not worthy of that price point.
Yep.
Agreed.
All these
Like
games, yeah.
I think the biggest like my bigger worry isn't about like the price increase of and like people making that like the standard, right? Because
Yes.
like if I'm being real, like
Some of them deserve it.
prices for everything goes up, right? And
Yes.
so like the people who work on the games deserve a little bit more money. I'm gonna say that, right? It's
No,
it's
I 100%
not
agree
easy
on
to
that.
make that. What is worrying to me is that the quality
They're
has
releasing
dropped
very
significantly.
buggy, unoptimized games.
Yes.
Because what was it, Decky? You played the Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the Fallen Order, whatever the newest one was, right?
Those are like the Souls like Star Wars ones, yeah.
The newest one had dropped as like one of the most unoptimized games of like all time. People like were like, "Damn, this game fucking blows ass chunks at launch."
I didn't
It
buy
was
it
a
till
good
like a year
game.
later. Like
Yeah,
I own it now. I bought it a year later, and it still has optimization issues.
yeah.
But I
You're
think it's
paying
worth the money.
full.
It's a good game.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Even
saying.
though I
Like,
paid half of the price for it.
yeah, but it's still like they're dropping games for like full price, and they're unoptimized, buggy as shit, have tons of issues. They're
A,
not ready
a great example is the chair you're sitting in.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
I'm willing to drop money on like extra stuff. Like I don't
CD
mind
Projekt
spending
Red was
extra.
like under pressure from like their stakeholders, right, to drop that.
Yeah, they dropped it before it was ready.
That was
100%.
like
Yeah.
their decision.
I think Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk. For me, I didn't actually have that many issues when Cyberpunk dropped. But did it warrant being dropped at the time? No. Was it worth the money at the time? No. Because a lot of people did have issues. To the point that they took it off the PlayStation Store for PlayStation owners. Like it wasn't ready.
I think
Yeah,
that was legit the
it couldn't
last game I
function.
pre-ordered.
Yeah.
And then since then, I never pre-ordered another game again.
Like I've done
Yes.
my best to stay away from like early access games as much as I can lately, just because like I'm very tired of games because like I've got a game still, right? Like if I look up this, hang on, this game right here, let me see when the last time it received an update. And mind you, I bought this game like 10 years ago.
God damn.
Oh, apparently it got an update in the March. That's cool because for 4 years straight, it had not received an update from early while it was in early access, and everyone was like, "Is this game ever gonna be completed? Like, are you gonna make this game ever?" And the people were like, "Nah." And so everyone was like, "The fuck you mean, nah? Wait, where's my
Yeah, no, that's
game?"
bullshit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that to me is dumb. Like,
yeah,
but there are games that are worthy of early access. Baldur's, like I'm gonna use Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm gonna use a different game in a second. Baldur's Gate 3 used early access, but they took all the community feedback and they just kept improving their game. They were
Baldur's
like,
Gate 3 didn't come out early access; it launched full game.
no, it didn't.
Oh, you mean like the test time?
Baldur's
whatever it
Gate
was?
3 had Act 1 out for a long time, but like they had it early access. Like you could play up to I think the end of Act 1.
Huh?
I just-
I didn't know that.
Yes. I knew that because I had heard about that game a long time ago.
I heard about
I
it.
didn't have interest in anything D&D related at the time, so I was like, that's a lot of complex systems. I don't give a shit about it. But I knew of it from like years ago, and they took the community feedback every time there was issues. They took community feedback. Every time that they released stuff, they said, "How does this work? How do you guys like this?" And they were like, "This doesn't work. There's too many bugs here. There's blah blah blah. What's going on here?" And they listened to their community as they worked on the game.
Yeah.
So that they did it right, and then they dropped the full game. Was Act 3 a little bit lackluster? Yes, but they are still releasing new endings for the game. They are still working on it. Another
don't beat
game
it, so.
that I had gotten early access was Hades, one of the best roguelikes at this point. So I think that certain games are worthy of early access because they take the community feedback and they work on them and they're good. Other ones are fucking cash grabs, 100%.
I'm gonna say it. Hades was okay at launch. Now I know that's not a popular opinion, but like I burnt through what it had within like 2 hours, and I'm like, okay, like
I'm not gonna lie.
how
Hades
long
had
do I
fallen
need to
off
wait
my-
for the next stuff? And then like it just took forever for shit to come out.
I had played Hades since before it had officially dropped. So to me, like I would play it for a while and then I would drop it for a while. So I can understand what you're saying. Like it definitely, but I think that over time it became one of the best.
It's a fun game for sure, but like it had that. I think the middle ground of Hades was when it was at its best. When it first came out, it's early access, so it's early access game, right? I can't judge it too harshly for that. I just hate the practice of early access games. It's dumb to me, right? Bring your game out at full. Like if you want your game tested, pay for testers. That used to be something people could do.
I think that depends, in my opinion. I like having that because you get like actual direct community feedback. Instead
I've
of just,
had
like,
many of my games destroyed by
And
direct community feedback. So I
There
I,
have
I
been
am
games
not
like that
I
that
don't
you
know,
can
okay,
get.
wait.
Studio.
True, that is fair.
Super
There are
People?
times-
Oh my god, Super People, bro.
Super People.
That is
What's
fair,
my
but I
vampire
think
game
that-
I play?
Vampire
Like,
But I
Masquerade?
think that they hear me
Yeah.
out.
Blood Hunt?
Wait,
Yeah.
hear me out. Hear me out. Direct community feedback could make or break a game, but when it works well, it works perfect. You get the perfect games. When it works bad, you get like Super People and you get like stuff like that. I think that there's a fine line of listening to your community and killing the identity of your game.
there are many games that I'm very glad that they don't listen to the community because there are people in the communities that are just whiny bitches, and I will
But there's
use
also
the
games where they
fighting
have
game
to listen to
community as that example, right?
I can.
Like, yeah. Oh,
Think he died.
Let's wait for a decade before we put.
Oh,
you
hey,
guys-
welcome
yeah,
back.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Was that just
Hi.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Discord shut
Uh,
down and then opened again.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, Discord's been really buggy lately. Like, I tried to play Stardew
Yeah.
with Arden the other day, and like it just kept kicking me out of call, and I was like, "What the fuck?" But a great example is like Tekken, right? There are so many people who think they are just like God's gift to gaming, right?
God's giving gamers, baby. That's why I
Yeah.
like to refer to those motherfuckers.
And
as
it's
gamers.
like you see them play the game, and it's like, no, you're where you're at on a leaderboard because that's where you need to be at, maybe lower. I don't know. And it's like they are the most vocal people, right? Like,
that is
it is always the people who are the biggest shitters who are the most vocal.
the
it's
God-given
obnoxious.
gamers and fucking. I love the. I know people you're talking about because it's the same thing with fucking League. Whenever you look in the comment
Yeah.
section, you see a bunch of iron bronze motherfuckers talking about like, oh, I would have survived that one. It's like, brother, you would have been like 0-10 in that game. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's like,
when you listen to the community too much,
yeah.
it can literally kill your game.
I understand that. Those are the type, but with fighting games, I guess the league could be like somebody watching Sonic fucking be like, I could beat him. It's like, no, that's fucking like a professional fighting game player. You're not gonna beat him.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
shut the
not gonna
fuck up.
happen.
If you hit him once, I'd be impressed. Like that's like the level. Like that's the level. It would be like if you broke his combo, I would be amazed. Like, yeah,
Whoa, he's gaming.
we gotta nerf his character. That's like, no, you're just not as good.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like that's a perfect example.
That is
when
fair.
people call for nerfs, and it's like, you're calling for nerfs when you don't fundamentally understand what you're playing.
Yes.
You can't do that. And then if
That
you
is
listen to those
fair.
nerfs as a developer, you have now fucked your entire game beyond recognition.
That is fair. Hear me out. I'm gonna use Tarkov on occasion. Okay, despite all their issues, they on occasion listen to the community at a pretty good rate. People were like, the recoil is too fucking redonkulous right now, and they were like, it took a lot of people fucking like making a lot of videos. There was one guy named Trade 24K that he talked about it a lot on Twitter, on stream. He kept adding them like, you dumb bitches, look at this. He would go to the shooting range with people and send them at them in clips of showing like, yeah, the gun's not gonna have that much goddamn recoil. I'm not even a trained soldier, dude. Like
That's
Okay.
fair, right? Like,
no, but but they listened, and that's not the only time that they've listened on community feedback. They've also listened to community feedback. They've on random occasions rolled back patches that have been absolute dog shit because people complained that much. I think that there's times where community feedback does help though, because if they don't listen to the community, like, well, we're gonna leave the patch in anyways, or we're gonna leave recoil where it's at anyways, then it can hurt a game. If there's like certain issues and they refuse to listen to the community.
Oh, I agree. Like, to a point, you do need to listen to your community, and like for Tarkov again, like that's one that very community based, but like it's also like they were how many patches in, right? Like, I think for a game that comes out in early access, I don't think games should come out in early access. I just don't.
That is fair. If
I
you want
think
to
if
say
they're
it, I can live with your opinion. I'm gonna disagree to a certain
because
extent.
people want to play the game, right? They're like, "Oh, new game, I want to play it," but it's like you're playing a demo.
But I
You're
like
paying $40 to play a demo.
okay, wait, within reason though. I'm not talking about well, I guess Tarkov's like a different thing, but like Tarkov should be a full game at this point. But like for other early access games, I normally won't drop that much Like I like to play a lot of roguelikes, and normally they're not $40 games.
Roguelikes early access are fucking miserable.
Some of them are. Some of them are fucking fantastic.
How would you feel
This-
if it was like a free game though? That
Oh,
just
Dead
dropped
Cells
early access?
was early access, right?
Free early access, fine.
You're fine with that?
That's fine,
It's just
right?
like paying.
My issue is that when a company comes out and they're literally dropping a game that barely functions, just to here's a let me. What's that one game called? It's like Sketchy's Contract, I think is what it's called, right? Hang on.
But the problem is like
Sketchy's-
with these early access games that you have to pay for, it's just a gamble, right? You have to.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was thinking. It's just
You
a
don't
gamble.
know if like
fair-
the studio is gonna continue making good content in the future, or if they're
You
just
have
gonna take your money.
no
and
idea if
run.
they're even gonna finish the fucking game, right?
To be
Like
fair, hear me out. Hear me out. A lot of these games are dropping to $70 played like early access games sometimes. Let's be fucking.
they
real.
are, and
Yes.
I agree with
They're
you on that.
charging-
But it's
they're charging-
unacceptable.
Yes, and I think that's my issue is with certain things is that they're gonna drop like $70 stinkers. Like, listen, if a game's gonna cost, you can tell me the game's gonna cost like $75, right? Let's say like after tax and everything. If the game's a fucking banger, I'll pay it,
Like
or I'll wait for a
that's-
sale. But like, but like realistically, if you're gonna tell me it's $70 and it's a full price game, if you drop a fucking banger, or even a good game, I'll be like, let's fucking run it. Let me get my 70 hours of content at least too.
I'm
Helldivers.
paying $70 for a game that's good, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's not my issue. My issue is
The
when people
stinkers.
bring out early access and they use the community as like testers, and it's like
That is
you could hire testers, people who like they've
Creates jobs,
obviously
too.
yeah, it creates jobs for one in the gaming community, which jobs be dropping all the time around there. Like they're just gone. But like it allows companies, especially bigger companies, to release shitty games because they're like, oh, well, I'm not gonna pay for it. Why would I pay for a tester, right? We'll just release this pile of dog shit and then patch it later because it's a live service game. And it's like, no, make a real fucking game and drop it. Baldur's Gate raised the bar so fucking much with that, and I am happy they did because they dropped
but
out
to
a
be fair,
full
part of
fucking
Baldur's
game.
Gate thing was the early access period.
Yes, I accept that, but it's also because they wanted to make a quality game and they waited.
Yeah, no, but that's also from an established studio that they did what the Divinity Original Sin games, which were games that are beloved games, I believe.
Yeah. It's a quality studio. Like that's
It's a
just straight
quality
up.
studio. But that's this Larian being Larian. I feel like they set a bar though that it's like if the company really wanted to, they could drop some fucking monstrous bangers. Because
Mhm.
they're also they're not so small studio compared
They're
to like
small.
an EA or a Ubisoft.
small.
They're small. Yeah, but I don't want to compare them to like other indie studio, like an indie like people making game. They're not like
They're not
fucking-
indie at all, right? They've
No, I know.
made.
They're
big
not
games.
like 5 people working with each other at home fucking studio, but they are like they're an established name with
But
a
if you,
decent
yeah,
amount
if
of
you want to
employees.
like hold a title as AAA, like you should really like commit
Yes.
to that.
Yes.
I would like to say that I feel like a good middle ground, and this is something that I feel like should have stuck around more often than it does now than it did before. I feel like beta should be more common, like they used to.
Yes.
Limited playtest. Do a free
Yeah.
limited playtest. Let people
Look,
play like
fuck
an hour
early
or two.
access to begin with, just like
If it's a single player game, drop like the first hour of your game for free.
yeah. Oh,
Or 2 hours. Hours to 2 hours.
I think Call of Duty
You're
did a good job
looking-
for a while, where like they kind of like have people play the beta and they only had like a few limited maps, for
Yeah,
example.
do that. For multiplayer
To
games,
give
what they've
people
always
people
done.
like an idea like how to play, how it plays, and stuff like that. I
They
thought
would
like
drop
Modern Warfare
betas,
2
like,
when
2
that came out,
months before.
that was good. I think that was pretty cool. How they
when the servers fucking worked.
Yeah, when the
goddamn,
servers
that
worked.
fucking played-
Yeah.
that played
yeah,
test
but that's
played
also
test
part of the
servers
beta aspect, you
at
know.
times.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's
So-
also for them to fix certain issues that
Yeah.
also weren't fixed when that game launched because when the game launched,
Yes.
it still had
Yeah, they still have the issues.
That's
But-
yeah,
that's the
okay.
most annoying shit.
I think games should do playtests. Do a playtest early on, then do a playtest like a month or two, like before the game's gonna drop. Let people get a little bit of taste of it, and you also get some feedback on where things are at.
It also generates hype. Let's be real.
It does
Yeah, it
generate
generates
It
hype.
generates
yeah.
hype. because then you take away that, like, people are like, oh, that game's fucking fun, and then it's gone. They're like, I need more.
I need more.
Like,
Yes.
a great example of this is what's that dinosaur robot game I played from Capcom? It's like where you're on like the mechs and you're fighting robot or dinosaurs. That game.
Oh, Exo
Primal. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Like the beta for that was so fucking fun. And I was like, I need more. Yes, it did. It dropped as an absolute fucking failure flop because they did the dumbest thing I've ever seen any game do, which is tie their story mode into random multiplayer matches.
You know what
And
other
I'm
game
like,
did that stupid ass shit? First Titanfall.
L.
Bummer.
Huge
I
L.
think to speak on that, I think you should not tie your campaign to multiplayer unless that multiplayer is co-op. That is two different things.
That was the dumbest thing.
If you want to make your campaign co-op, God bless you. I love good co-op campaign. Keep that shit the fuck away from multiplayer.
Yeah.
I don't want my story progressed whether or not either we fail the mission, or in Titanfall's thing where it was PvP, so either one side, one or the other.
Yeah.
But then it wouldn't have any consequences because you get the same ending of the goddamn story every
Yeah.
time. So it didn't even matter. Correction, there was like two different endings, and it would depend on who won the last multiplayer match.
Yeah.
But that's still, who cares? That's not a real campaign. That's me playing fucking TDM or domination.
That's why Titanfall 2 did a good job until,
Yeah. Titanfall 2's story was an
Apex came out.
fucking, yeah. Titanfall 2's story was a banger of a story for a shooter. It was a solid like 8.
What were you saying, Dana?
I'm gonna hit you with some knowledge for Exo Primal. Let's say I played, because like the story progressed based on your number of matches played, basically, right?
Oh, that's
and
even
like
worse.
New shit. Yes, it was number of matches
worse
played.
than Titanfalls. At least Titanfalls had the story a lot for Titanfall 1.
No, it was like, and here's the thing, right? It's like they had other game modes, but that was also locked behind the story.
Oh,
which
that's
was
terrible.
Yes, but here's the best part. Here's the best part. Let's say I'm 20 matches in, right? And then Martin gets the game, wants to play with me. We're now running off of his matches.
Oh.
So we have to play through his 20 matches for him to get up to where I am.
That is so
And
dumb
then
shit.
I will continue my progress.
Damn.
So you have to play 20 matches of the same mode, basically? Just to
You had no control over, and they had some really cool game modes in there that were, I was like, whoa, this is fantastic, right? Like, where's this been the whole fucking game? But like 80% of my time playing the game was escorting a box.
I had seen a lot of gameplay, and I had seen the box, and I was like, I had seen that, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to play this game.
It was very poorly done. But that's the sad thing, though, because like the game's genuinely fun. It's just like, it's such a fucking slog to get anywhere in it. And if you played the game before someone else who got into the game later, you just had a crazy advantage from like your suits leveling up. Yeah. Like I was playing one guy who was like a fist fighter, and I was fighting 3 of the exact copy of me on the enemy team, and I was beating all 3 of them because I had 1 upgrade. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Like I shouldn't be 1v3ing the exact in a mirror matchup.
In a PvP game, it always ruins somebody's experience when you lose in situations like that.
Yes, because like they couldn't do anything. Like they had no option other than to receive that ass beaten, and I made them hold that ass beat. It was bad.
The best part about PvP is when you can beat somebody, even if like you just have to play better.
Yeah.
Yes.
But losing because somebody else played longer or like has something, even if like not saying that you're bad, Dana, but like let's say like he's bad, that guy's dog shit, but he just put more hours and that's the only reason he's winning. That feels like ass. Let's all be real. There's been plenty of games that we've all played that feels like that, where you're like, that guy is only winning because he has like level 6 upgrades and I'm on level 3.
Yeah. That's an L game design is what that is.
Not skill issue, bro.
Yeah.
Skill issue, brother.
Skill issue. You didn't put 400 hours in the game like 2 months ago, and you're a problem, bro.
You're bad. You're just bad. You're just bad, kid. You're just bad.
Yeah.
But
I think that always ends up either getting reverted. They have to always change the way their PvP works in games, or the game fucking dies. It's one or the other, whichever one happens faster. Sometimes people stick with the game long enough for them to make the changes. Other times the game fucking deletes itself.
Yeah.
And that's what they get for making bad game design.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think the Tarkov and Ubisoft, I understand that the season pass stuff will cost these prices. It's just a matter of if certain games warrant those prices, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of, I feel like the game quality, especially from like Ubisoft and EA, as like the two biggest offenders, they drop like some absolute goddamn stinkers, and then they expect you to pay like $100 for all that shit, and you're like,
oh, but you
no.
know the thing about them though is that they're always gonna lower the price in like 6 months to a year to like $20.
Sometimes it's like fucking like 2 months later
Oh,
if the game.
that's
Sometimes
crazy.
yeah. Sometimes it's like 2 months where it's like comes
It
down
is
like,
out of
like in
desperation 'cause they
Battlefield.
realized they didn't drop anything good.
Battlefield 5 when that came out, it was like full $60, right?
Wait. Battlefield 5 had a different situation around it though.
There
of
was,
why that
but
happened.
but it was still fucking hilarious
familiar
seeing
with
like 4 weeks later when I was like in the middle of Walmart like seeing that it was on the clearance section for $20. I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it. And I like bought it for $20 after it just came out.
Yeah. That game had a slightly different situation. I don't even know if the game was good or not. That was not why
It
that
was
game
it was
broken.
fine. It was fine.
No, it was broken, wasn't it?
It was broken, but like I
But
played
it
It
died for
broken
other
game.
reasons.
Every
Yeah, I mean,
battle.
okay, every Battlefield drops. Like Battlefield gamers expect that when it drops.
yeah, now. Yeah.
Sadly, that's the way they
Sad.
expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, like I think the first time I experienced that was Battlefield 4. Was like had a lot of issues when it first dropped. Battlefield 5, if I remember correctly, was the one where people were like, "This isn't accurate and we don't like it," and the guy was like, "Well, you don't like it, don't buy our fucking game," which you don't tell people if you're in charge of the game. One of the head people at the game said, "Well, you don't like it, don't buy it," and people were like, "Guess what?" And
Oh
the
man,
skill
he's talking
for
a lot
that-
of sense right now. Maybe
Yeah.
I just won't fucking buy it.
Yeah. And they had like a secret meeting that had gotten leaked where they basically called their customers a bunch of dumbasses or something. It was something like that. So people were like really pissed and they were like, "We're really not going to buy your game then." And that's why that game failed.
Oh, I remember like a big thing about it was like because women were in the game, people were like having an outcry.
Yes.
That one was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes. But the issue wasn't necessarily that women were in the game, is that women were in the game in World War II.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people wanted it to be
accurate to the
more
time.
accurate to the time period, and they were like, "No, you people are sexist," and they were like, "We're not being sexist. We don't want to do anything." Whether or not you care about realism in your video games aside, don't tell
Video
your
games.
customer base. Don't tell your customer base if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah,
Probably not the best gamer move there, buddy. Like,
that's
those
a
are
bit
the people you need. Like,
yeah, that's a bit of a yikes.
I think the people were definitely crying too much. I think that if he didn't mention that, they would have bought it.
Yeah,
They would have cried. They would be like, "Oh, stupid! There's women here," and they would have played the game.
Yeah.
It's just like the same people who cry about fucking Call of Duty every time it releases every year, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh my
And
god,
then
it's garbage, it's bullshit." I'm
Yeah, but I
buying it,
guarantee
bro.
you, if Call of Duty started saying you're a bunch of dumbasses, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
They buy it, so it's Call of
Yeah,
Duty,
but people would be, mad. People wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I think some people wouldn't buy it off that.
Mm.
If they started insulting their community and calling them dumb and saying if you don't like it, don't buy it, I think there would be a community out. Like I think that people would step their foot down. Because you say that people would buy it, Battlefield 5, I think proves otherwise. And Battlefield not as big as Call of Duty, 100%.
Not by a long shot, honestly.
I wouldn't say not by a long. Depending on when it is in its life cycle. 'Cause I think Battlefield 2, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 4 had a very large community.
They're almost like on par with Call of Duty at the time.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I
That
think
time,
that-
sure.
Yeah, but I think that what you're saying at that time, sure, but I think that the issue was that Battlefield 1 definitely
5
was a large
and
departure of what-
2042 ruined the fucking.
Yes, I think that
franchise.
that's why Battlefield isn't as big as it is. It could have
Yeah.
been. I think if they didn't, I think Battlefield 1 was a cool departure, but then Battlefield 5 had to step up, and they fucked up. They fucked up huge. And I think that that's
Remember-
why Battlefield died.
They tried making a battle royale mode. You guys remember that? It was like called like Firewatch or some
Yes.
shit or Firestorm.
Yes.
Everybody wanted a battle royale mode.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
everybody
but
did.
I don't even know if that Battle Royale mode is bad or not, but people just didn't
It
play
was-
it because it was related to Battlefield 5.
It was
Fucking remember
whatever. I played it.
Blackout?
Blackout, I had fun with, but
Blackout
it was
a banger.
ass.
Blackout was 100%. No, that
It was
fun.
Blackout was
That was
ass.
It
fun.
was
No,
garbage.
fun.
It was
I liked
fun.
It was
I
fun,
liked-
But it was
but
garbage.
it was bad.
Yeah, I agree.
It was bad.
I
fun.
agree.
Dude, the fucking stalker perk or whatever the fuck it was, you pop that shit, you are literally a ghost. You make no sound and you move at 400 miles an hour, and I'm like, nobody can counter this.
Listen, man, it was still fun though.
Yeah,
that
it was
shit
fun.
was impossible.
I had a lot of
Yeah,
fun with
me
it, but
too.
it was garbage.
Regardless of that, I think Battlefield could have been not a COD killer, but it could have remained a major powerhouse in the shooter community if they didn't one shit the bed with Battlefield 5 and then right after shit the bed with Battlefield 2042. Because 2042 dropped as a buggy mess and it was
That was
so
a
terrible.
nightmare. Even the beta was a nightmare. Holy fuck.
They didn't even have a scoreboard. It launched without a scoreboard.
There was so many game breaking. I had a bug where if I died in certain places, or I think between like rush points, like I wouldn't be able to respawn, or I wouldn't be able to leave the game even. And then I had another
It's fun
bug.
now.
Not another bug. When the game first launched, your bullets wouldn't necessarily always go where you were aiming because it would make it other people had a better chance of surviving because they were like they wanted to be more. I don't know what the fuck the reasoning was. I'll be honest with you.
I think the game's fun.
It was
now,
dog shit.
But,
No, now it's fun.
Now
If
it's
this
fun.
would have been the release state, it would have been fine.
just regular.
but-
regular
The whole point, though, is that like people, like companies, are just way too comfortable releasing games
And that's
in
the issue.
a crumpled pile of tire fire mess,
Like
where
companies specifically,
and they're like,
EA and
it'll be
Ubisoft.
fine like a year later, right, or like 2 years later.
Yeah,
Like-
I think EA and Ubisoft are notorious for that at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the games, like you want them to be good. Like you want, like I said, the Jedi's, the is it Survivor or Fallen Order is the most recent one.
But Survivor is the most
Survivor.
recent.
Jedi Survivor released in a very bad state, and like I said, it's a fun game from what I had seen, and a lot of people love it. It was just that it had too many issues
Yeah.
at launch. At this point, it's like, do certain games deserve $70 price points? Some yes, some no. Some of them don't even deserve the $60 price point, realistically.
I've seen some early access games who don't deserve a fucking $20 price point.
Yeah,
Like,
but come on. Why we gotta come with it? Some of those games deserve it. Some of them do, some of them don't.
sure.
I think
but, like-
early access is it depends. But I could see your point of why they shouldn't.
Dude,
I think though we need more, like Marty said, we just need more playtests, like for free. Let us play like an
Playtests.
hour, 2 year game. Let's do like something for free. We're not paying you. You're not paying us. let me like try out the first hour, because then it also lets me decide, do I want to even try this game?
Yeah. Especially with like games in development for years and years and years, you would want people to test it before you release it. At least that makes sense. And like in every coder's like aspect, like coming from a background where like I would use programs, I would want people to test it before using it in order to like see if it's fully functioning or not. It brings, reliability and accountability for both the company and the coder, I guess. And then it also brings in our case the consumer a better experience. So I mean,
That would be within the heart of an actual good,
Good company,
that actually
yeah.
cares about their
Yep.
game instead of just
Mhm.
wanting profits, though.
yeah.
Yep.
Yes, 100%.
So
And
it depends
that's
on them
the
stuff.
main issue. That is the core thing. Is like, does the company care that it's releasing a quality game, or is it just trying to make money? And that goes from fucking indie up,
You
right?
should,
Like
yeah, now,
from
yeah.
any developer up to AAA.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah, there's studios that I trust. Like I think was it id Software, the guys that have done Doom and Wolfenstein. I like those guys. They drop some bangers. The rest of Bethesda drop some fucking shit games sometimes. Let's be realistic here.
didn't the most recent Wolfenstein flop super fucking hard?
It did, but that game was fun. Anybody that says otherwise is dog shit. Fucking...
We
No, I
got-
think that game's
Just making sure.
That game flopped, but I think it was fun.
Can we?
Your personal enjoyment in the game. That's
No,
your.
great. Let me reword that. The game wasn't bad, but it just didn't do good. And that game.
So
did
are you
something-
saying it's underrated or?
Yes, I think it's underrated.
Hmm.
And it's
Okay.
really-
Is this the one with the two chicks? Like the twin sisters or whatever the fuck?
Oh, we're talking about two different games. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's what
I
I'm
thought you were talking about the one with the guy.
No,
Wolfenstein 2.
the
No,
most recent one.
Oh, no, the multiplayer one. No, that one's dog shit. Don't listen.
There we go.
Take it back.
I was like, I was like, he
Rewind,
likes this
rewind.
I'm gonna
game,
be honest
huh?
with you. Wait, before you even mentioned that, I thought we were talking about Wolfenstein 2. No, Wolfenstein 1 and 2, like the
Oh
rebooted
yeah, those are
ones,
fine.
those are fucking bangers.
My dad enjoyed those games. Like he
Hell yeah.
he loves some
There's
Wolfenstein.
something about chopping up Nazis feels pretty good.
Yeah, but then like there was the one where it's like two half naked robo ladies or some shit. I'm
Whoa,
like,
whoa, whoa, they weren't half naked. They were wearing the robo suits. That's different.
they were half naked.
They weren't half naked.
Can we talk
Well,
about
their asses were hanging out.
can we talk
No, they
about
weren't.
games that are in development? I think Decky posted something regarding a MMO coming out, Game of Thrones style.
But yeah, but then you said it was
Oh, yeah.
being done by
But-
Nexon.
This
It was
is
being made by
done
Nexon, and Nexon is
Oh no!
the same
Nexon's a dog
creators
shit company.
of Maple Story, same creators as
I
Abby
don't
Nogi.
normally, I don't normally pray for the downfall of a company. I pray Nexon fucking dies.
Nexon
the
is a very
finals.
I could say
which
that because
flopped-
they're. I could say that because their company. I'm not talking about any individual person. I want the company to fucking die. Fuck that company.
Yeah. It's
And
not
I
good.
want that company to die because of their whole Dark and Darker situation. Fuck those guys.
Oh, they made Dark and Darker too.
No.
Oh, what happened there?
No, they sued Dark and Darker.
Oh, they. Oh,
So the
Yeah.
original. Did we not talk? We definitely talked about this.
I
on the podcast.
You guys
don't
did.
We not.
remember, but I mean, I probably checked out in that conversation.
Quick rundown. Dark and Darker almost didn't release because, and it still could potentially at some point die. I don't know if they beat one lawsuit. I don't know if they beat the one in South Korea or not. So the quick rundown, because I think we've talked about this. Dark and Darker was made by employees. Some of the employees formerly worked for Nexon. Nexon claimed that they stole the ideas and the assets from them, when realistically they didn't. And so they sued them, saying that they basically violated a ton of like contracts, and then saying that they stole their game.
Yeah.
That they had like let's say they had a game called like Project, I don't know, W or something. I have no idea. I don't remember. They had the name at the time. They said what it was. I just don't remember what it was. And they were like, "Oh, they stole our game, guys!" And they were like, but it was a game that they also had dropped. Like they didn't plan on releasing, which is why those people left. So I think I don't remember if they got let go or if like what happened specifically with that. But yeah.
Dark and
Nexon-
Darker's been mid for a bit though.
I think
Unfortunately.
that Dark and Darker issue was that it probably full dropped too early because they needed to make funds for the lawsuit.
It's not full dropped. It's
No, I
still
mean like
early
that they
access,
dropped price. I think that they dropped price wise. Like they dropped like the paid edition early to deal with that. Is what I think happened.
it's fine. I just mean like the gameplay itself. Like
No, I understand what you're saying, but I think that like they dropped it too early. Like I think that they wanted to do another couple playtests before they dropped it. But the
They needed the money?
lawsuit made it that they wanted the money for the lawsuit to deal with that because the
Well,
lawsuit.
even since then, they've done a bunch of updates and like that, right? Like the issue is that they're just not like.
No, I
addressing-
get that, but I'm just saying like I think that they would have put it more time in the oven before releasing it, even in that state.
Okay.
Because I think that they had more playtests planned, and they did more playtests after, but then they were like having so many issues with the Steam stuff that like that I think that that's why. I don't know for sure. They could have done it. They could have done it like that could have been their plan. But I think that Dark and Darker situation is different in the sense that I believe they dropped it asking for money to deal with the lawsuit because lawsuits are expensive as fuck, and they're a very small studio, especially in comparison to Nexon, which is like $1 billion company or some shit. Yeah. Nexon games also notoriously dog shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the finals wasn't bad, but it just never catered for like.
The finals died
Casuals.
because it's
There
not
was-
good for casuals.
yeah, it's not
you
good for
have to be
casuals.
playing. You have to be playing in a stack, and your stack has to sweat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
You can't play that with like a casual stack. You have to play with like gods. Whatever God's given gamers in your group, you have to play with them. I remember what was it? Whenever any like the 4 people in here, when any of the 3 of us played together, we would win most games.
I think the only time we
But
lost.
we would also have to be playing with our balls to the wall, like I'm going to stomp the absolute dog shit out of
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah,
was
but
no,
it felt
like-
good.
The beta
You,
was
you didn't get to be
genuinely fun.
off. You had to be on the entire time.
Yeah,
Yes,
you gotta be locked
if you
in.
fell off, you were losing. But
Yeah.
you would just lock in. You'd be like, I'm going to win this.
Yeah, and most of the time
But
I
if you're-
fucking did, but
Yeah. I think one of the few times we lost was Decky's fucking game crashed.
yeah, his internet died. That was kind of funny. because we were
That was
we were
sad.
stomping
We were
those guys,
winning.
and then
Oh my God.
Dickie disconnected. We are like, oh fuck.
I think too. We took like a round as a 2-man.
What a
Yeah.
bad
We lost
fumble,
the next
Dickie.
game.
Come on.
Yeah, we would have beaten those guys because Dana, we were winning gunfights 2v3 in this, and in the finals, you normally don't win 2v3 gunfights. It's pretty goddamn hard.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not for a casual audience, and they try to make it competitive, but then it also didn't reach the competitive audience enough, so it died. Sort of.
Yeah.
It's still getting updates. They did their season 2 and everything like that, but it is definitely not in the same state
No, yeah,
or the state where they want to be.
but it is what it is. I mean, who cares? To be
I
honest,
think the game's cool, but
Yeah.
it's just
doesn't catch my
When the
attention.
beta was out, that was genuinely a lot of fun.
that
'Cause I
was
played
one of
with
the
Puma a
most.
lot. That was like,
Yeah.
it was like a breath of like fresh air. I'm like, oh my god, this
100%.
is like so fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm not used to games, especially like in the beta stage being this fun, and I look forward to it genuinely.
Yeah, I wanted to
But-
play a lot more, but then I don't know. It just I felt like
It
I
lost its
couldn't
luster.
I couldn't like chill on it, you know?
Yeah. If you were playing the finals,
I couldn't
you
play
were
by
like,
myself.
No, it was
you could
impossible
never
by
do
No,
that,
playing by
yeah.
yourself is probably the worst battle royale to play by yourself. I think that we had played some matches with like 2 stacks, and I was like, these peoples are absolute booger munchers. Like, it was really bad.
It was definitely a game where like if you had one person not picking up like carrying their weight, you felt it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you could not gain momentum in that game if you didn't have all 3 people like on the same page. Go.
But I will say, winning the tournament style game mode, that it had its highs. That felt good whenever you would win like the tournament stacks.
Mhm.
You'd feel like
That needs to
I'm
be
fucking
implemented in a lot more
stomping.
games. Like
I think
That's
so.
competitive. That's competitive nature, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's why you enjoy that. Whereas the casual person, like, they don't care about that. They're just
No,
Yeah.
they want to do the fast modes, like go in there, like the other ones
Yeah.
that you just play.
Because you
The
would
game-
lock in, you would have like a long-term end goal of just like you got to win like 3 or 4 games in a row in order
Yeah.
to be like the top
Yeah.
team and beat the rest of them.
Yeah, but when you won, you were like, I just fucked the shit out of like 12
Yeah.
teams to get here. Which
Yeah.
is like, that feels good.
it's a good feeling.
I think that, not that it, I think all battle royales have that feeling of like when you win, it's good. But that was a different type of battle royale.
Yeah. It
When you
wasn't
got wiped,
really
it's not like I'm back to lobby. It was like I got wiped, I'm coming back in there and I'm coming for the lead, baby.
A lot of the times it was just like one team versus another that were just at each other's throats, and the other 2 teams were just dog shit.
Yeah,
so
but
you were
they're
just
like just
competing
like
with
let's just not be
whatever
as
team.
bad as the others.
And sadly, like it was probably the reality of it is probably like those other 2 teams were just randoms and just didn't
Yeah.
have like a full stack and no communication. That's why they failed.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. It's a game where like if you don't have a 3 stack, it's not as fun for you because you don't have the same level of like you're not gonna be able to play to the same level as the people who are 3 stack, right? And like I've been dealing with that recently with Eternal Return, right? Like I play a lot of that solo. I've been playing it a lot, and I get games where like I have teammates who look like they play like they've never seen what a keyboard is before, and I'm like, but please. And then I come across people who are like 3 stack, clear communication, like wombo combo. I was CC'd for 14 seconds straight in one match, and I'm like,
I love whenever you look at your fucking CC timers in games and you're like, oh, I just got like railed.
I was
Like-
CC'd for as long as I was in combat, and I'm like,
Yeah. Oh,
how
God,
do I ever attempt to compete with that with like my teammates who like I can't communicate like I'm doing this move now, you do your move now, you next person you do your move here, my move's coming back. Like you just don't have that level of communication, that level of like
a wombo.
like,
You're not,
you don't
can't
have that
wombo
wombo,
random.
like yeah. And so like it's rough to play by yourself.
Yeah,
And
it's
I feel like the
yeah.
finals was very much like that.
It's exactly like the finals, yeah. Because like in the finals, it's another sense of like you need communication. In a game like Hunt Showdown, you can play solo and still 1v3. You know, in those kind of
Just one
games, you
shot.
can't. Yeah,
One shot and someone's dead.
yeah. And then like in Eternal Return, you need a team. You need communication.
Yeah,
You need-
it's almost
Eternal Return's
impossible to
100% team
1v3.
based.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would
I-
say Eternal Return might even. This would be controversial. I think Eternal Return, you need your team a little bit more than you do in League.
Way more than in
Yeah,
League.
definitely.
Way more than in League.
I think it's
Yeah.
depending on the point in League. Let me refrain.
Okay. In League, how many times I think all of us can attest to this? How many times have you been like doing okay in your lane, and then the laner on the opposite end of the map has fed 30 fucking kills, and now this monstrosity has now roamed into your lane, and you can do nothing.
Yeah.
If you are fed in League, you can carry. It's just
Yes.
hard.
It
In
is still
Eternal
hard because then
Return,
you can
if
have some
you're in a
booger munchers on your team still. You can be like 30-0, have a booger muncher on your team and lose because that other 30
Yes.
dickhead was like fighting you.
In
Eternal Return
Eternal
is different
Return-
though because it's like it is different. I think it is more. You're more
It's a
reliant, but it's
battle
more because it's a
royale.
3-stack. Yeah.
Yeah.
in a 1v2, it is hard to win that fight. Very hard. In a 1v3, it is fucking impossible.
No,
if the
you're
people
not
have
winning a
opposable
1v3
buffs.
unless you're fucking God's giving gamer and the other people.
I got close. I got fucking close.
Yeah, you gotta be some absolute mongols
But
on
like,
the other team.
fuck me, dude. It is impossible.
You also have to be a
It is-
fat champion to win some of those, I feel like.
It is so it is so hard. If you don't have teammates who are like even like on the lowest end pulling their weight, you're just not gonna win.
I think,
and it-
yeah.
It,
I think
it's,
the
it's
game also has like it's not like, how do I word this? I think if you don't have a background in that style of gameplay, let's say like a Dota or a League or like any sort of MOBA,
Yeah.
that game is hard to pick up.
Yeah.
it is.
If you
They've
have a
made it way
background,
easier.
yeah,
But like it's still hard.
easier than what I had originally watched you play it, but it is still like
It's a lot
you
easier
need
now.
to know how
Holy
to
shit.
you need to know how to attack move if you're playing any
Mhm.
sort of range character.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the mechanics that I use in that game when I would play with you, I still want to play it again. Like
You play like League, right?
yeah, no, I play it like League. I'm attack moving. I'm using auto. I'm canceling autos when I can, or like to reset, like doing certain things. It's like, but that's mechanics I've practiced for like 1,000 hours plus on League. Like I'm putting like hundreds of games in to practice these things.
I will
And
say
I'm bringing
this
them into a new game.
controversial take probably. Eternal Return's movement feels smoother than League. I played League recently after playing all the shit on Eternal Return. I already wanted to play some ARAMs. I was moving. I felt jerky, and I'm like, "What is happening?" I
depends
was
on
like,
your character.
"League." I was just a melee guy. I think I was like Warwick, right?
I
Like
don't know why Warwick's weird.
I don't
no,
know,
no,
but
no,
like
no,
it
no.
it just felt very jerky. Like
Oh,
and I'm like, why does it feel like if I click and hold down on Eternal Return and move my mouse in a circle, my guy runs in a very smooth circle. Like very
I
clear
understand
circle.
that.
If I do it on League, my guy's like walking like a GameCube controller is like fucking like circular prong basing where it has like the notches that you like
Yeah.
it's like a
But-
polygon.
I think League doesn't
get that
have
it's-
that kind of mechanic where like in Eternal Return you can just hold the right click button to move your character. But in League,
But that's like it's
Yeah,
like
it's
in League. It's
fluid.
in League it doesn't do
it's-
that.
yeah, it does. If you hold
Yes, it
down
does. You can hold down and follow in League. It's not as fluid though.
Yeah,
I
but it's
will
not
say
as
that.
fluid because it's kind of like a clock where it's like every like half
Yeah,
a second.
I
exactly.
get that
half
if
a
you're trying to
second.
turn in League, it's more like mechanical. Like you're just like,
yes, and
yeah.
that's not like. But when I play Eternal Return, it's very smooth. Like, and
I gotta say
it
that.
lets
Is
you
that
it
an
lets you
advantage?
get some. Yes,
That is
I
any
actually have a
sort of-
clip where I live because I took one step backwards.
Having cleaner
and we won the
movement
fight because of that.
is 100% something that would be I would say would be a game changer if you know how to move cleaner than anybody else.
Yes,
That's like League. That's like kiting. Like if you move better than the other person, you could fucking whoop their shit even if you have less damage.
the hitboxes are also way more accurate in that than they are in League, from what I've noticed.
God, League hitboxes suck ass sometimes.
Like,
I
when
feel
you
like
an Ash
recently-
arrow's 4 feet past you and suddenly you get hit
Bro,
and stunned,
there
and
was
I'm like,
one
what
time-
happened?
A Thresh threw his hook to the right. I dodged to the left. I clearly dodged it, and I still got hooked. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
what
crank
is this?
thresh hooks are the funniest, dude.
Thresh hooks be hitting you behind minions, and you're like, I'm
Yeah.
clearly behind this thing. How is that hitting me?
Yeah. Must have paid $100 and $250
That was
or
hitting some
something.
fucking monsters Thresh hooks the other day.
Probably
John's
pay
getting
some
support.
$250 DLC.
I
or
wanted
something.
to play with you guys, but I was fucking tired. Like I had
No, it's all
just woken
good.
up, and I'm like, I just want food in my body because I know I got to work today.
You played
No,
what?
that's fair. We were playing League the other day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah, with League, I'm pretty good with like the first 2 games, and then after that, I just plateau. I'm just like, oh, I'm playing pretty average now. But in the first 2 games, I lock in.
He's like, I gotta prove something. He's like, all right, cool, I done it. Time
Yeah,
to
but it was funny though
relax.
because Becky
Alright,
kept
alright,
using
I'm
the
out, I'm out.
whipping them hoes emote.
Oh yeah, you were whipping me or something in chat.
'cause
Huh?
I mean, with the whip duo.
You said
We were doing Nyland and Thresh.
I said I didn't want to play League, and then Decky was like, "Fuck you, Martine," and then whoosh, you know, like
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Wow.
Everybody was getting whipped today.
I was fucking watching Game of Thrones. By the way, started watching Game of Thrones.
It's a
You guys are
banger
right.
show.
You guys are right. That shit is a banger.
I've
The
gotta watch.
first
I've gotta
What a
watch.
5
video.
seasons are guaranteed bangers. Season 6, and is it season 6 and 7? Was it 8 seasons? How much seasons?
There's 10, I think.
There's not 10.
No, it's not. It's
No,
like 8.
sorry, 8.
It's 8.
8, not 10.
6 and 7 were not as good, but decent enough. And then 8 was an absolute shitfest.
All right.
We'll
I
wait
think
till
it's the
until
general
it gets there,
consensus.
but I'll let them enjoy for what it is right
Oh,
now.
no,
'cause
I
Let me
think
enjoy,
seasons one-
bro.
No, seasons 1
Yeah.
through 5 are some of my favorite of
It's
all time.
fire, dude.
It is so good. Experiencing that for the first time, I wish I could.
Because I told him, I was like, if I were you, I would drop everything you're watching, and just watch Game of Thrones because it's just
I
so
would
worth
agree.
it. I wish I could go
I would
back
do-
and watch
I
it.
rewatched it
for the first time.
recently. Though I
Yeah.
say recently, it was probably like last year at some point. But like rewatching, it, I was like, I remembered why I loved that show. It was
I
just
rewatched
so
it.
good.
I rewatched it with Emily because it was her
Yeah.
first time watching it. We watched like the whole thing,
Oh,
and it
Dude,
was
it's such a
like
banger.
rewatching it too. Even that is just amazing
Even like the
because you
emotional-
understand more
oh,
too
God.
on the second time
Rewatching
around.
it does feel good to see like, oh, so that's why things are going down like this. That's why that character was doing this.
Yeah, you
It-
get to
it-
see the full pan out when you see like the full big picture. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, it makes sense now.
Yeah, I feel like that's why people
Recently-
should be watching, like rewatching a show that's like, you know, at least a good show, because it gives you
I
like a
don't
better
like rewatching
idea.
something right away, but I do like rewatching stuff well, when not everything, some things don't deserve a rewatch, but when something
True.
has like that whole, it can be good and not deserve a rewatch. Let me reword that. I think certain things I'm fine
Sure.
with watching just once, and there's other things where like Game of Thrones, there's a lot of big picture stuff going on in Game of Thrones, and I think
So it deserves a rewatch where you can like have a better
Yes.
idea of what's going on in
it
the
would have
story.
deserved more
Yeah, like,
rewatches if they
eventually.
didn't drop the ball. Sadly,
Yeah.
Like, there's no rush to rewatch it, but like I said, like in the
Yes.
first watch through, you're kind of like, okay, where are they going with this?
the
Yeah.
first
Is-
watch
is
through,
That's
I
where I'm
didn't
at right
remember
now.
certain characters till they showed up like a season later. I was
Like,
like,
if
who
you're
the fuck is
just-
that guy?
If you're just getting into it, like it probably takes like a few episodes to like really understand what's going on
Mm.
because there's so much going on, and yeah, once you get like past the first season, you're gonna be hooked for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
already
Absolutely.
I
with
was
you.
even though
At
I
the
wouldn't even say
finisher.
past the first season. I think that the first season is what hooked me the most.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
already hooked right now. I'm like
I
5
was locked
episodes
in.
in. Like, sorry, I'm not gaming tonight, guys. I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones.
I'm
It's
not even going to judge you for
captivating.
that because Game of Thrones is. I think that the first couple seasons they were that good. You were
Yeah.
like
I'm locked in right
invested in
now.
these characters. There was characters I had no idea who the fuck they were, and then you were like, "Oh no, that's actually one of my favorites right there. I love that guy. If he dies, I'm sad." And there's other ones where like, I
I'm pretty
hope that
sure you-
piece of shit gets his like fucking throat slit, and you're like, you're waiting for it. You're waiting for him to die because you know what's gonna happen. You're just waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like your favorite characters and all that stuff changes throughout the seasons too. You're just gonna
100%.
be like, I root for this person now, and change teams on on this person's side. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your current favorite characters? Like, who do you
Favorite
got?
characters? I don't know. It's kind of rough right now. Everybody's a bitch. There's a lot of them. A lot of them are
Wait, you're-
assholes.
that's
not true.
There's some that are
No.
nice,
no,
but then
that
like
is
very
true.
half and half. You know, like.
Nah, Ned Stark, top 3 characters of the entire show.
Well, yeah, he's cool right now, but this is the very beginning. Maybe there's some shit that I don't know about. For example, well, I'm not gonna actually. There's no. Well, actually, it's kind of old. Can I say like one
You
spoiler?
can talk about it. Yeah,
Okay.
Marty, that show is I
Yeah,
think we
yeah,
all
I know.
agree-
We talked about it.
Well,
Yes.
we set the rule. As long as something's over a year old, you're fine.
See what I mean? But sorry.
But Martin hasn't seen it up to
I
this
haven't
point.
seen
so
it.
if
No,
if
when
you're
you guys-
watching
say-
When
it's
you
gonna be a
guys come
spoiler.
down to talking about Shogun, I'm just gonna go give Chip his pill. And stuff.
See
That's
what
what
I
I'll do.
Okay, but yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, the whole thing with like Ned Stark's mistress that we don't know about. Like, there might be some stuff there that I don't like. Because he has a bastard kid or whatever the fuck. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys know what's going on, and like I
Wait, so
said,
you don't know anything about Game of Thrones?
nothing. I
That's
am
even better.
blind.
Oh
That's
God, I
amazing.
wish.
That's
That's
That is
why
probably the best way to. I don't know how the fuck you dodged all the Game of
I
Thrones.
dodged everything,
spoilers.
bro.
Envious
I
of
don't know
you.
how the
I
fuck
dodged
you did that.
everything.
Not
Dude,
even the
the
ending?
things that
Even the ending, I don't even know what
Not
happens.
spoiled for you?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't even know what
that
happens.
God, I wish, because whenever I was watching Game of Thrones, if you were not on top of it, people were dropping spoilers like it was their goddamn job, and I was like, "You sons of bitches! I hope you all get
Especially in the
AIDS."
last seasons when it was like peak popularity, everybody
Yeah,
like the
you'd
ending
have like
spoiler was
30 minutes
everywhere.
to watch the fucking episode, and if you
Mhm.
Yeah.
didn't somehow, they'd be dropping spoilers mid-episode, and you weren't even home yet, and you're like, "What the fuck is
Yeah.
this shit?"
People were live tweeting what the fuck was going on. I'm like, oh my god.
Dana, I think you'd like the show, but I mean, it's a time sink, so I don't know. You'll probably get
I don't
addicted
want
to
to
it.
spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, Marty. But there was a certain situation with a certain character that people were like, "Oh, that made me so sad," and I was like, "I didn't even watch the goddamn episode yet, you sons of bitches. I hope you all get AIDS." So then I was like getting spoilers for them, and I saw it, and I was like, "Now I'm sad too, but fuck you for doing that."
Fuck you for doing that.
Yeah, because then I knew it was
Yeah,
gonna
man.
happen.
It's a
Yeah.
roller
I
coaster.
I
Game of Thrones,
dodged everything. Yeah.
Game of Thrones has its happy and really, really sad moments. So just be aware of
Yeah.
that.
Right now, I'm dodging all the One Piece spoilers because like it's everywhere on fucking Twitter, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Because I'm
I
not
think
caught up.
Oh god, Game of Thrones is good.
I'm not caught up. I am very good at avoiding spoilers for most things, unless like
I
somebody's in a call with me and they're like, "Oh my god, did you see that?" And then I want to punch them in the throat.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like,
try not to spoil things for other people, but I don't mind spoilers most of the time.
like the worst is when there's like people in the call trying to talk about something, but
No.
like they're trying to like tiptoe around it, but like hint to each other about it so they can talk about it. It's just like
That's why my thing is
I'm
that-
not an invalid. Like I have a frontal lobe. I can put two and two together. I know what you're talking about. It's like
Yeah.
it's like when a parents are like they when they spell things out so the kid doesn't know, right? But like you're a 20-year-old adult, you're like, I can fucking spell. Like what what's happening?
That's why, like, to me, like, I don't like spoilers until at least like a year out. Give me like a year for like certain things.
Years too long. But I do think it should be like a couple months at least.
Yeah, I can live with that. But I'm saying like a year if you're gonna like full on go deep dive into it.
I think if the like for like a season, right? If like the last episode of a season has dropped and it's like 2 or 3 months later and you still not
That's
started
fine.
watching it, that's on you. Like
Yeah.
That's
I feel like that's
fine.
on you
I
at
can
that point.
understand that. But I think spoiler culture has changed in the sense that like back in the day, I feel like it would have been like you would have waited longer, and nowadays it's like
Well, now like
yeah.
everything's so easily available. Like it's
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like 'cause the internet kind of helped with that, right? Because
Yeah.
like
yeah,
obviously people want to talk about it with their friends, right? Like that.
yes. I can. You're gonna make me change my spoiler rule, you bastard. No.
we talked about this right before you were here, but
I can
I'm not,
understand that.
We all know your rule.
we know your rule. We thought.
Well,
it
I
was,
just think
you
it's
know,
fair for
whatever.
like other people. 'Cause,
Sure.
Like to me, it's like what if somebody was like, "Oh, that's on my list," and like we just be like, "Hey, remember when that character got his fucking brains blown out?" And you're like, "Oh, thanks, guys." I
Well, that's
wasn't
why
even
we say
watching it."
like spoiler alert beforehand. You know, if you're being
Fine,
nice.
we'll change the rule.
Can I talk
we'll
about
get to-
Shogun
we'll
then in full detail? No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say no. We have to give 2 months. 2 months.
To
And
Shogun?
then-
Okay.
yeah, Shogun.
No,
you
I
said
think-
it like that just
uh,
came out or some shit like 2 weeks.
No,
ago,
It was
Shogun
like
right?
just
a week
finished.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So
Just
what
finished,
do we say?
yeah.
2 months and we give a spoiler warning.
I mean,
Well, if we talk about it 2 months
No,
from
but-
now, we're probably not gonna.
No, I'm
Bring
saying
it
in
up.
general for other stuff. You guys could talk about your Shogun.
Daggy,
stuff
we just
on-
need a separate podcast where we're just talking about shows and movies.
I will watch shows of no, because I watched the Fallout show and I wanted to talk to you guys about it.
I still haven't seen that, but I will watch that. I will watch that.
Yeah,
soon.
but like, how are you gonna say you want a separate one and then like I'm asking you guys,
We'll
"Hey,
have
you
you the
guys
guest.
watched Fallout yet?" Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, probably get AIDS.
No, but
Are
You can join the
you go-
podcast as a guest.
yeah.
I'm gonna hate review their podcast. I'm gonna drop reviews every week. Every week,
Nice.
this podcast is dog shit, but from like a different account.
Every week. This podcast.
That's the next level of hatred.
I'm gonna be like Kendrick and Drake.
So do you want to talk about Shogun
I did
Decky?
want
Or...
to talk about that a little bit.
Oh, which one?
All right,
The what?
wait, you guys. Oh, the Kendrick thing.
Yeah.
What
Oh
happened to
wait,
Kendrick?
you guys do your Shogun thing now, and then I'll come back within the next like 5 minutes. Let me give Chip stuff. Let me take care of Chip real quick, and then
We're gonna
you
be
guys do your
very
Shogun
vague,
thing.
but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you guys do your Shogun thing. I'll be back in like a few minutes. He just needs his medications.
So I guess let's start off with
First
like.
of all,
Go ahead.
nah, I'm just very happy that this show doesn't really give a shit about like violence or big wars or anything like that. It's more of like entire character focused on the development of like everything. Like just
It's very character
From-
development focused.
yeah, it's very relationship between everybody. Um, like I said, not really giving a shit about big wars or any big budget violence. It's there for like
Where
people that do
it's
enjoy that stuff
yeah.
where it's needed, but it doesn't like go over the top with it or
I-
have unnecessary scenes like that.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of scenes involved that, you know, it's like you said, it's not necessary, but there's definitely scenes where it's involved and it's like pretty badass moments where, you know, it does appeal to the crowds that love that kind of shit. But most of it is very character development. And I feel like that's what they do differently, because a lot of shows like that, they kind of overemphasize the action and the war aspects of it, like especially for a show based in that time period, the 1600s, during
Feudal Japan.
feudal Japan. That is where it's war all the fucking time, it's death all the fucking time, and they emphasize that a lot in the show. They
That
emphasize
is so common.
yeah, death is so
Like,
common where it's
back
just like,
then-
you know, it's just like what's the word, it's dull to everybody.
Yeah, everybody's numb to it. Like I was doing like this show like made me do a little bit of research into that area of Japan, and like honestly, death was everywhere. Like putting people to death, executing people, torturing them, killing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff was just so very common back then. So to see that in a show is just very like it's crazy because no other show just does like seppuku like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
We're
you
just
see
so
that, you
raw
know
and so
it's-
real.
Yeah, yeah. On like a ground level, but
So
Go ahead.
I've not seen it, but would you say like the show focuses more on the politics of like things, or
Heavily.
sure, yeah.
There is
I
some.
think Game of Thrones does that too. It's very politics heavy.
Okay.
Would you
But-
compare it to Game of Thrones?
Yeah, a lot of people are honestly. They're like, yeah, this has to do with a lot of like the higher ups because it doesn't really show you like the peasant point of view. Because Game of
That's true.
Thrones, it's like
The ground
royalty.
troops.
You get the point of view of like the royalty people,
Yeah,
not really like
the lesser.
Arya's friends. You know,
John Blacksmith down the road?
yeah, basically, because the main character who's like a Portuguese guy, he has a very tight relationship with the head of that the region. I guess I don't know what the word.
Oh,
for that
he's
is,
a
but-
lord. He's a lord.
Yeah, he's a lord, one of the lords of Japan. So he has like a big stake of like what goes on for his camp. So it's on that point of view.
And it's like it brings in kind of like the story of like finding new types of people. For example, like Japanese people have like almost never seen like outsiders before because they're an island, and they just finally they see this like Portuguese guy. Well, he's American in like the actual show, but like he's Portuguese in the story. They all speak Portuguese except for the Japanese, and there's like this obvious cultural disconnect where like this guy that's to the Japanese is seen as a savage, while the Portuguese guy sees them as all savages. So it's kind of like this cultural difference that they both have to adapt to each other throughout the entire story. And
It's huge. It's almost like
Yeah.
this dude just landed in like a UFO and he's like a complete alien because they've
Yeah.
never there's like no diversity in Japan at this point. Like everybody is the same race. Japan is like way different nowadays, but
No, I think
it's like
Japan's
they've
population
almost-
almost entirely Japanese still.
I think it's
yeah,
about
but with
China.
like
No, I think Japan is like the same.
there's still people like outsiders living in the
No, there's
in
still
Japan.
outsiders living there, but I think that Japan is still primarily Japanese.
yeah.
Yeah.
With like the tourism and everything, but
Well, I think
back
like
then
most places are kind of like that outside of like America, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying like Japan is
Yeah,
still
yeah.
like that though.
yeah, for sure. Japan's birth rate is going down actually, I think.
Yeah, I think they're trying to like
Yeah.
have even like outsiders come by and like mate. They want like outsiders.
There's your chance,
to-
Martine.
Yeah.
Get
I
in
gotta
there.
find me some
Japan,
girls.
Japan is 97.8% Japanese, like the population.
I like how you did that actually.
No, I'm just
Actually
saying. Not
finger?
actually. Yeah, actually. But yeah.
But this is at a time when they're their own thing. Like they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, no.
They're
I'm just saying, but, like,
separated
from the-
completely.
their
rest of the
population
world.
is still like almost entirely just Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like seeing somebody of a different race is just like seeing an alien.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
in this
from
case,
another
it's somebody
world.
that doesn't speak at all their language, except for like, well, in this case, there's
Hmm.
also religion involved. There's a lot of Christianity. What's the word when they spread it?
Missionary?
There's a lot of missionaries in Japan that they're trying to spread the word of God, and a lot of people are being converted, and it caused political issues, and so on and so forth, and that's also involved. And I think it's
A lot of the
pretty cool.
turmoil revolves around religion.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's like one of the big, as
Would have
most
ever-
wars
Sorry.
do. As
Sorry.
most wars in history do. Yeah.
Nah, Dana, you're not even wrong.
Religion
for that.
is a big part of it.
Realistically, most wars are related to religion in history.
Yeah,
like
in history,
the
yeah.
Crusades, Holy Wars, all that sort of stuff. A lot of wars in the past were not entirely based around religion, but a lot of them were based around that.
Or an ideology
least
at the
with-
very least.
And if it wasn't religion or ideology based, it was just beef. They just had beef with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this was. This was beef. I mean, it's no different because this show is like I think loosely based off of a true story. I think Martine can correct me. So
I'm not exactly sure, but there are
know-
like some historical
I know
references.
Blackthorn was a real person.
Yeah,
like
Blackthorn
Vinland
was a real
Saga, real.
person. Let me look
So,
this
yeah,
That's
up.
like how Vinland Saga does it. Vinland Saga uses a lot of real people, but then like they'll do obviously like their own like anime take on it. That's different.
He's loosely based off this one guy named William Adams or some shit. He was like the first Englishman to visit Japan, and go
So
through
they
the
make him
story.
Portuguese in this one.
Well, he speaks Portuguese. He's actually an Englishman, but he speaks Portuguese because that's like the common tongue over there, and so he kind of knows it because they're fighting the Portuguese, if I remember right, because he's an Englishman. Because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Portuguese are invading
They're
Japan and they're
enemies.
trying to make an army there and blah blah blah. It's like it's all history stuff. It's all in history. But
But
yeah,
if you're like really like keen to like watching somebody like turn themselves around from like having this one like savage mindset towards another group of people and then having them like slowly like come around and see what the culture is really like there and
It was
you know.
Avatar. Like Blue People Avatar.
Oh, Blue Peel. Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in a way
Blue
because he
people
started
Avatar.
he
I
started
had to
with-
clarify.
he started off with like this military we're gonna go kill these savages kind of attitude, and then he kind of was adopted into their culture and way of life, and he just understood.
he was forcefully assimilated, but but the whole time you can just tell they're trying to use each other, right?
Yeah.
So, but
He saw that he
without
was,
spoiling anything, I can't really say much. But
Yeah, it's just more of coming around and being like feel like you're more welcomed
yeah,
with these group of people than you were, and overall happiness increased with these group of people rather than your past life.
yeah, seeing them as savages or whatever.
Yeah, so he definitely did come around, and you see that episode by episode. But yeah, there's just a lot that just happens and unfolds with the characters throughout the season, and I think me and Martine agree that we're happy with the way it ended and where it ended.
Yeah.
Are they doing another season or?
It
Nope.
doesn't seem like they have talks about it, but it doesn't seem like it should have one because it doesn't.
That's fair. Not everything should have one, and sometimes
Oh, it's
they-
a one and doneer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I don't mind those.
It's not a big commitment if you guys want to pick it up. But
Yeah, it's good.
How many episodes is it?
It's
10?
10.
10 episodes.
10
So
episodes,
so
like
the
10 hours. I can watch it.
So this
Like
is
day.
apparently this is the author. Okay, so Shogun's part of a book series. It's a book saga. I purchased the first book. I purchased Shogun. It's this fucker. Look at this, how fucking
God
big this thing
damn.
is. It's 1,300 pages, but it's Shogun's the first book of a whole saga. So I feel like if they're gonna do something, they're gonna continue on with like different time periods. So Shogun's in the 1600s. The next book is in the 1840s. The following book is 1860s, 1945, 1963, and 1979. So I feel like this will be a saga. If anything, it won't continue Shogun, but it'll continue the The saga of books in feudal in Japan.
and did a lot of funny stuff around the 40s.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff in the 40s.
They did a lot of funny experiments in the 40s.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be good if they continue using his books as like stories,
Yeah.
shows.
That would be interesting to branch out to like different eras of Japan and see that unfold with different stories. But with this one, I feel like they shouldn't continue. I mean,
They
like,
shouldn't. No.
It definitely left a lot open at the end, so to your own interpretation and stuff. But I think that was a good decision for them to just cut it there because it just wraps
Sometimes
up everything pretty well.
less is better.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. It's like you don't want like them to drag out something till it fucking dies. And you're like,
Yeah.
well, this is kind of a fucking stinker. I'd
Yeah,
rather
this
them
was
do
a good
one good
example.
ending versus like give me like 8 seasons of dog shit.
Yeah. I agree.
Just because you want to make more money.
Yeah.
Do a different story. You prove that you can write. Do a different story.
Supernatural. That show did that.
Yeah.
They were only set up for like 5 seasons or something like that, like story wise, and then they were like, but what if we wanted more money? And the people were like, but we don't have a story, and they're like, uh-huh.
Doesn't
So they
that
were
show
like,
have like 20 seasons or some shit?
yes, it does, sir.
Jesus. It's like Doctor Who.
Yeah, there's a reason why it kind of falls off a cliff after season 5. I wasn't a big fan to begin with, but like after season 5, that shit is just nonsense.
Yeah.
They have a Scooby Doo episode.
Let me
Oh.
see like ridiculous. No, you gotta. I think there's a healthy spot where you can do multiple seasons, but still no. I have to kill it soon.
Yeah.
Old Yeller.
Yeah, like do a good ending. Like do obviously treat it right, but like after a certain point, there's no more stories left that make sense to do for these characters. You want to keep adding new big bads? How about you stop? Like, I think like it's better to prove that you can make a good show and then be the showrunner on the next show, the next banger.
Mm-hmm.
Like Breaking Bad. Can you imagine if that
Oh
had
my
like
God.
15 seasons?
Oh my god,
That would have been awful. But they
Yeah, some
did
people
a
even get
good
mad with-
job with how many seasons
Yes.
they had. Yeah.
Yes, I think some people didn't even like season 5 that much of Breaking Bad. I think season 5 was a banger.
I think it's probably
Breaking Bad.
well, it's not one of the best. I think it's like really good, but not one of the best.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But it was a good way to wrap it up. I think
Mhm.
is why I am okay with it because like some shows, their ending is where they fuck the landing.
They fuck up a
break both
lot.
their-
A lot of
They
shows
break
do
their.
that.
They are like they're skydiving all the other seasons doing like flips in the air, showing that they're God's given skydiver, and then like they break their legs on the fucking landing, or they fucking forget their parachute, and they're like, "What if we drop a stinker?"
And their
you're like, okay.
$50,000 gyrocopter breaks in the middle of the air, and
Yeah.
their body breaks. You guys see that video that got on Twitter?
No.
What?
Some guy was like riding a gyrocopter, I think. Oh, not a gyrocopter. It's like one of those.
Oh
like,
yes, I did see it. And he broke his neck and his head.
Yeah, he broke his neck and his back.
neck and his.
Oh, didn't I link that?
What?
I think you linked that. Yeah, some guy was
He
like
was-
flying around with like this like
It's a paramotor.
paramotor. There we go. And
So one of those things that you have a fan attached to your back and you go up to like 3,000 feet in the air.
yeah,
Yeah, his broke partway through day, and he broke his like neck and his back or something.
yeah,
Thankfully, he wasn't 3,000 feet in the air, and he was like
Yeah.
I think 80. But
Did he
still
live?
Suffered.
yeah. He lived.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
he
he lives. He
suffered
did.
some pretty bad injuries.
There was
but
a
he lived.
video, like a pretty graphic video of him like in pain.
He's gonna
screaming.
have a lot of physical therapy ahead of him
Yeah,
if he can walk. I don't know.
But
I
he's
hope he can.
alive.
he's alive.
I hope he's okay. Not okay, but like I hope he recovers.
But yeah, back to Shogun. Great show. I recommend. You guys should watch it.
Yeah,
It's not
highly
a
recommend.
huge time sink or anything. It's just like what 50
Not a
minutes
huge
max
time.
an episode.
Yeah, but that's still like
Yeah, 52
10
hours.
And there's only it's 10 hours. So it's like but again, it's a one season and it's going to stay one season most likely in my opinion, but and it
It
is,
depends on if they get money sign like dollar signs.
Yeah.
Guys, you know.
yeah, that's true.
But they don't have to do multiple seasons for that. They can just do
Like I
different
said,
shows or different
yeah.
spin-offs.
Different they can continue
Spin-offs
on
is
with the
fine,
books,
too.
the saga. Yeah. Which they
Spin-offs
probably
would be
will.
bang.
Anyway. Yeah. That's probably our rant unless you have anything else to say, Ducky.
Well, yeah, no, it's just like one of those shows that you want to watch the next episode. It's not like you feel burdened to just like continue this just for the sake of completion.
Yeah.
It's just that every episode is top tier. It's not just like, oh, it starts strong and then it's like mid in the 4, 5, 6 episodes and then it ends
Oh, yeah.
strong.
There are
Certain
subtitles,
shows are
so
definitely
learn
like
how to
that.
read.
It's a lot of like the majority of it is in Japanese and
Oh.
subtitled.
Yeah.
So there's
Oh,
subtitles, so you're
subtitles.
gonna have to learn to read.
It always it sucks when a show has
I'm
like that-
illiterate.
the,
Shit.
water. Yeah, who can read?
But no, it's good. It'll keep you hooked. So, yeah, I'm gonna read the book. So, when I'm done with that, I'll put my thoughts there.
Bet. You gotta watch the Fallout show.
Yeah, I will watch the Fallout show.
That one's
Yeah, I
not
gotta
even.
watch
That's
that.
even less of a time sink. That's only like an hour episode for 8 episodes.
Yeah, but I'm on Game of Thrones right now, so
I wish
I'm
that
gonna have to wait.
I wish watch parties were a thing, so I could bully Decky into doing watch parties on Twitch to do it.
Honestly, yeah, if there were a thing, I probably would have finished it by now.
Yeah, because then you could have done like, especially since the entire season dropped, you could have just done it like maybe like watching an episode or two today, watch an episode or two like in like a couple days. You could have done it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like watch it all in like 2 days.
Yeah, no, but
know,
like you could have done like several streams
I
of
would've.
it.
Yeah,
I watched it all
probably.
in one day, but that's just because I like Fallout stuff.
It's
Not my
a good
Fallout.
show, definitely. Yeah.
What did I say? Anyways, speaking of, I was about to say something crazy. I think I sent it here. The Valorant, is it Valorant?
Valorant Pro, the
Yeah,
disguise.
Valorant
mode?
Pro. Yes, it was Valorant Pro. Valorant Pro got suspended for match. They said it was match fixing. So Valorant Challengers Malaysia and Singapore is issued for provisional suspension for a player Wong J.H. I'm not gonna finish pronouncing his name. I don't want to fuck it up. So he's being investigated on suspicion of participating in match fixing. But the thing is that
what's max fixing?
match
Match fixing.
fixing.
Match fixing.
That's basically you gamble on certain things to happen, and then you play really hard for that to happen. So it could be like you're gonna bet like, oh, the other team's gonna whoop us like 15-3, and then like you throw the game or something. But
Oh, I see.
yes, so basically, yeah. So that's been a thing that like there's a guy recently. I don't know if it was NFL or NBA that he gambled. He was match fixing. He got kicked out of the NFL or NBA permanently. It's a very big thing, but
That's really hard to do in
And get away
basketball
with.
and shit, right? Like I feel like you got like a whole.
It
team
might have
of
been
people.
NFL. I could be wrong. I don't know. Either way, the issue is this guy. He was gambling on himself though. He was like, "We're gonna win, baby," and he was like, "I'm putting money down on it," and he got in trouble for that.
But don't
That's dumb.
but people do that all the time. Like Ryan Garcia, I think he
But it depends on your sport.
he bet on
Yeah, he bet on himself.
he bet on himself and he won, so he got hella money out of it. But like
He got like $12 million or something.
yeah, and why can't he do that? I guess it really depends on the
So
sport.
the
That's
thing
true.
is that it depends on your sport and depends on where you are. Because certain like Ryan Garcia,
Okay.
part of his thing was like a Nevada like certain commission thing. He was allowed to do it.
Okay. Here's my issue with this though. They're saying it's match fixing, right? Which would imply that like he's taking steps to ensure like the outcome of this, which would generally imply like if you're a boxer and you take a dive, right? That's kind of like
Yes.
match fixing. He's literally just saying, "Nah, I'd win, and I'm gonna put money on it," and then he wins, and they're like, "We don't like that." Like he earned it. Like that's his W.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck do
Yeah.
you mean?
I understand.
It's not like the
there
enemy
being
team
rules.
like
Go
if the
for
enemy
him.
team was in on it, sure.
Mhm.
Then call it match fixing. Match. I can't. say
It's
this
so
word.
hard.
It's
to
so
say.
match
hard.
Match fixing.
fixing.
Match fixing.
Max fishing.
Max fishing.
There has been a ton of like other sports where like people would match fix and like they throw the games and it's like, yeah, you're a piece of shit for doing that, right? Like
Yes.
those people are terrible people. But if you're gambling on like, I'm just a fucking better gamer, baby, let's run
Yeah,
it right now.
like
I'm putting 10K on my name. Watch this.
I'm putting 10K on me because I'm better, and like you win, I'm like, God, he's better. Like, what do I
Yeah.
say?
Locked in.
Give
Unless
the
it's
man
like,
his 10K.
I
Like,
can see though if maybe if he's gambling like, oh, I'm gonna do better on the leaderboard. I don't know if like I don't know how Valorant gambling works. If he's gambling like, oh, I'm gonna be getting like 3 more kills than my teammate or something like that, then maybe that can be like fixing it.
he would
maybe
still
that-
like he
Where he
still
would tell
has
his
to.
teammates
He
to
has
stop
to.
killing
no,
or
like
whatever.
maybe
Yeah.
if like yeah, like oh, let me get that one so I can get like my 10K. Like if it's that, I can see why maybe.
Maybe, but if it's like literally just
But if
like
he's just
win
like
or
gambling,
lose,
on the
that's
win or
50-50 odds, No, if he's
Yeah.
gambling on the win or lose, let that man fucking run it. That's not match fixing. That's just saying I'm a better gamer. He's putting his money where his mouth is.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's money
He
where your
said-
mouth is.
Yeah, he said my contract's not enough. I will beat you right now.
I've got a mortgage to pay. Square up.
Yeah, because like Marty said though, Ryan Garcia bet crazy money on himself to win, and he won.
Those bathwaters aren't gonna pay for
Listen-
themselves, bro.
Yeah,
If you've got the balls and you like I'll win. Like let
That's
him
a dub.
play.
That's a dub, bro. Like
yeah.
yeah. What was Ryan Garcia's thing though? Like I think like didn't he have to also pay the other dude like 1.5?
I thought it was like 2 mil or some shit. I don't remember.
He had to
but-
pay like I think it was 1.5. I think it was 500K per pound that he was over, and he was 3 pounds over. Which is a ridiculous amount of money I have to pay.
Damn, 500K per pound.
Per
God.
pound. It was per pound.
My fucking great grandchildren will be broke with how big.
That man had to pay him 1.5 mil for being 3 pounds overweight for the fight.
Would never financially recover from that.
He would have. I don't know how much he's worth, but I think he would have been kind of fucked if he would have had to do that and lost the fight, like with the money he gambled.
Yeah.
But winning the 12 mil. But imagine that, Danny. You put the money down. You say, "I don't care about the 1.5 I just lost to that because I'm gonna whoop your ass and win 12." Like that's crazy.
That
But
I'm with you. I think they should have let him.
you're allowed.
Like if he's stepping up like that, let him step up. Right?
Yeah.
He says,
I agree.
I don't care about everything else. I'm gonna whoop you and I'm gonna make the money off of it. I don't care about the fight bag either. He said the purse ain't enough. I'm coming for the camera.
Yeah, he's
I'm
like,
putting my
nah,
own money where my mouth is.
I need more.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I feel
I
bad for
respect
that,
it.
bro. I think that we need to bring in more gambling. Let them all gamble on
Yeah, let them all
themselves,
lose their
within reason.
money, bro.
Let them like they have to like announce it. Like let it be like there's no like insider trading, nothing like that. They have to say I'm gambling. I'm gonna be top frag. I'm gonna whoop your shit, and like they have to say it ahead of time. And when they win, let them take their bag out.
Hmm.
Like at that point, they have earned it. Like
Yeah,
They talk their
It's-
shit
it's
and they got their
theirs.
money, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
But I can understand why there are rules about gambling.
There has to
on
be very
yourself in your own
specific
games.
rules. Yeah.
There has to be because I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm gonna get like if I die 10 times in this match, somebody could win like
Yeah,
30K.
no
And you're gambling,
over
like,
unders. Like
Good
no,
idea.
that's the you can fix that pretty standard.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're good enough, you can fix that.
Yes.
Like so, I understand like if that was it, but if it was just straight up win lose, like nah,
yeah,
he
I
had
think
to.
they should
he has
only
to
be
win.
allowed. They should only be allowed to bet win lose and bet win.
Yes, because like if you bet lose, you can throw a game. Like,
100%. You'd be like, I'm gonna play like an absolute goober this game. Drop.
now,
like, a
what if they
fucking
bet
donut.
lose, but they also drop like 20 kills and their team's just bad?
Oh, they're just
And
like, I know.
And then
Oh,
it's like
no.
I can't carry these people. I know that, but I'm gonna look damn
But
good. Watch out.
you've been playing with your team for like months, at least scrimming. You know, you should at
Could
least
you
have like
imagine
an
Yeah,
idea.
being-
have-
That'd be
Could
such
you
a
imagine
fucked
being
up-
the teammate?
Oh my
Or
god.
you're like, hold up, man.
I'm leaving this.
You
You
bet
had
on
no
them?
faith in me. You bet on me. That would be so sad.
He's like, no, I didn't, and I got paid for it. You
And
proved me right.
yeah, no.
I'm quitting
Yeah,
starting
realistically.
tomorrow.
Not for real.
God.
Realistically, it should 100% be you're only allowed to gamble on your
Yeah.
team winning.
If you get betting on someone, bet on yourself, and you know.
Yeah, bet on. I think you should only be allowed to bet on the win. You shouldn't be allowed to bet on any specific stats that you're gonna do,
Yeah.
because then like you can be like,
can
oh,
fix
I'm gonna be
that.
top frag for my team, and you ask like, let's say me and Marty are at like 10 kills. I'm like, hey Marty, let me get like the last kill. This is the last kill of the game. Let me just get that last 11 so I can win this real quick. Like that'll be like a little bit fixing that. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Yeah,
wanna
but at the
lose.
same time, you still have to earn them. Like you had to earn the 10 kills to get that point, right? At the
Yeah,
end,
but
there,
I'm
it's
saying
kind
like
of
if it's like
fixing
down
it.
to the last 1 or 2, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
let me get those, please. Like, don't worry, or like let me swing first, so I can at least attempt to get the kill. You know what I mean?
I mean, that shit happens. Like that happened in League. If you think about it, like because like FlyQuest has that thing where it's like if they get, they were doing it for a while anyway. They were like if they get a penta or some shit like that,
Oh,
like
I
they,
see.
yeah, and so like yeah, they obviously
Yeah,
were
no,
like give him the
Give him
get
the
the penta,
penta.
get the penta, yeah, right.
Yeah, but
like,
this is also fixing like gambling in the sense that like you have a lot of insider information on it.
yes,
Where like let's say I bet on it as well, and I don't know that like the pro is gonna like his friend's gonna let him swing first. So he gets the thing, and I'm like, oh man, I just lost my bet. I lost like I don't know $20 on that. I don't want to lose because of that. If I lose it, I want to lose it because he actually got it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't know how Valorant gambling works, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I
Apparently
think
people,
they should only be allowed to gamble on certain things, and one of them being win or lose, baby. And you're only allowed to bet win. Bet on yourself.
so people in the comments of this thing are pretty pissed because Riot went ahead and released this statement before they confirmed anything. So they
Oh,
said
might
that
not
they're
have even done it.
announcing.
Whoa.
that's
So they're mad
Yikes.
because this is just a suspicion that he did this.
yeah. So they're dragging his name through the mud without.
before confirming, they said that we're suspending him on just a suspicion.
Yeah, but
So
they dragged
people-
his name through the mud in a way that makes him seem out to be a fucking big dick swinger. But let's be real.
If people are looking at it the way we are, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sure-
because
yeah,
I
I'm
saw
sure most
some of the
people
people
do.
I saw were like, listen, one dude was like, I'm anti-gambling, but he wasn't match fixing. He
Yeah.
was gambling. If you want to say he's gambling and that's against the rules, that's fine. But don't call it match fixing. He wasn't match fixing. Ain't no
Hmm.
match fixing that. I'm just better.
Yeah, if it was a fair game and no predetermined outcome, I'm pretty sure like other people
Yeah.
would be in the same boat
Yeah.
and agree that it's fine, whatever.
yeah,
Unless he's like paying the other team to take a dive. I don't know.
Yeah,
how much
that
he
would
was
be
gambling.
rigging. Yeah,
yeah.
But if
That's
he's
fixing
not
them.
doing that, if he's only being like, I'm putting my money down.
That's what I was saying. Like, if the other team's in on it, then yes, it's fixing. If they're not in on it and it's just straight up, he's the better gamer.
Yeah.
Let him game. Like,
Yeah. 100%.
wasn't there like a phase thing? You guys you mentioned the phase clan stuff?
Oh, how they disbanded
Yeah.
like their whole roster and got new ones?
Oh,
yeah. Since we're on the topic of like
It's not
sports,
just that they-
esports teams or some shit.
So FaZe Banks kicked out some of the people were OGs, some of them weren't. He kicked out a ton of people, and then he hired he didn't hire a ton of new people. He kept like maybe like 10 of the originals, and like he hired like another like 2 people or something. I don't know. It was like very few.
there wasn't many to begin with because back in like the Call of Duty days, FaZe had probably like 50, 60, 70 members.
Yeah.
But now it's been like dissolved to like maybe 20, and then he probably kicked like half of them. And now they're recruiting more because they're going into a new phase of
Phase.
Phase.
like
But
pun
some of the people
intended.
he kicked were like he kicked one of their top dogs. So it was FaZe Kaylee.
Oh yeah, she was like
Yeah.
She was like one of the only females
She
too.
He was a
She
ride or
was-
die for FaZe.
Yeah.
She
I
was.
love that team.
No,
Mhm.
I didn't
Okay,
watch all of her stuff, but she was one of the biggest FaZe people. Wasn't she like top 4 for the people that, like in terms
Yes.
of views and impressions and
Yeah.
everything from what she
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
She was a
like,
good
said? If
player
you're
and a
doing
content creator.
millions, yeah.
Yeah,
I would
millions of
understand
impressions
if they
within like
were
a
like,
week.
because there was that one girl that they brought in that they had a lot of controversy around that because she had beef with one of the people there. Well, she didn't have beef.
Oh
The
yeah,
other guy
the Stranger
started
Things
beef with
girl.
her. Yes.
Oh
One
right.
of the other members started beef with her for no fucking reason. That guy's a piece of shit. But she realistically had nothing to do with FaZe. She shouldn't have been there. The other one, she's a fucking God's given gamer over there. She's putting in fucking God's work for them.
Here's the thing too. She wasn't receiving a paycheck from them.
Who?
She was repping.
Kaylee.
Yeah,
She
Kaylee
was
didn't get
working-
any
She was
money.
in it for the
For
love of
free.
the game.
Yes, it was for free
Just to have
advertising.
FaZe in
them.
her name, like that. That's how
Yes.
much she loved it. She just did it for free and repped the
Yeah.
name.
Yes.
That was a passion project. She was making her own money, and the
And-
passion of I love FaZe, so I'm gonna do this for them.
And
And
they
the
kick her
guy
out,
who
bro.
kicked everyone, Banks.
Yes,
Yeah.
Was it
Banks
Banks?
is a piece of
Banks
shit.
is
Yeah,
the
he was
owner
like-
now.
He was like he wanted it to go back to like the simpler time of like, you know, boys being boys or whatever and whatnot. It's like
Hmm.
I don't know that lady well, but like that was kind of like her thing, wasn't it? Where it's like she just shot the shit while doing trick shots and stuff like that on like Warzone. Like that, like apparently that was like her thing. Was like she was very like one of the boys. Like she was just very
Yeah.
chill. Was a amazing gamer apparently, and she wasn't getting paid, and she was getting your name out there in a positive way. Why the fuck would you get rid of her? That makes no sense.
I've never been like a huge FaZe person. 'Cause I think most
Me
of the
either.
people in FaZe have always been the type of people that I look at them and their content's not for me. I'm gonna word it like that. Their content's not for me.
I think
Some of
FaZe is
them are
cringe.
I think some of them are pieces of shit. Like some of the people there. Like the guy that gave
Yeah.
the Stranger Things girls shit, he's a piece of shit. FaZe Banks, kind of a piece of shit as well. For this situation. I don't know much about him aside from that, but like that's a piece of shit move to do to somebody that really cares about your thing. Other stuff like Dana, a lot of it's cringe. A lot of it's that 420 party lifestyle. And I don't mind people doing drugs. You do whatever you want to do, but they do it in a cringe way. It's, like FaZe is the type of people that hire Snoop Dogg, and the Snoop Dogg never shows up again. Like they're those types
Yeah,
of guys.
I don't understand that. Like they just like put people on the team just for that clout. Like, oh, we have
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg on the team. I think they have Yachty too. I don't know if he's been kicked, but
probably did.
I
I
don't
think
know
Snoop
what they
Dogg's not
do
even
for the
involved with
team.
anymore either. But like, FaZe, like
Dude,
to say you want it to be like, oh, you only want your ride or dies. Kaylee was a ride or die.
bro,
Yeah.
and they sign on these new people that like I've never even fucking heard of. Like not even
Yeah.
once.
I think that's crazy to say I'm gonna kick this person because they're not like I can't trust them to be a ride or die, and then you bring on new people. Like no, if you
No.
want to say you only want your ride or dies, then you stick with the 8 people you picked. You
Yeah,
do not
dude.
bring on new people.
You don't bring
Because
on
then you're lying.
That's
You're
fucked
saying
up.
one thing and doing another. I only want my ride or dies. Let me bring like 8 new people on. Like what?
Yeah.
So
That
bizarre.
would be like, hey, that would be like, hey, Marty. So I'm not gonna talk to you anymore because I only want my ride or dies. But this dude I just met at the gym the other day, like
That's my
he's my new
boy.
best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what? That's not your ride or die. That's just some random dude that you've seen at the gym a couple times.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
it's
not gonna lie. Anytime I played like Call of Duty or like any shooter, and I see someone with the name FaZe, I targeted them
it's cringe. Yeah, no,
Same.
because I thought they were just cringy little.
Yeah.
They were generally bad. But like, yeah, I just always thought it was so fucking
FaZe-
cringe. I'm
there-
like,
I
I'm
think
going to
there's certain
ruin you.
members of FaZe that are cool though. Is it Jev?
I think it's
FaZe
Jev.
Jev? He's kind of cool.
I
like
couldn't
his
tell you
Worked
one
for
of their
Jev in
names.
the past.
Kaylee was cool, but that's about it.
What'd you
I
say,
couldn't tell
Nick?
you one person.
I
I
think
did
Jeff
some
is
work
the
for
one.
Jev in the past for his channel.
Yeah.
So
He's
I
the
knew
one
some of
with
the members on a personal
he's the
level.
Request one, right?
Oh, you met him?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I haven't met him, but I've been like DMing him on Twitter in the past and did some work for him for his channel. So I've known FaZe members for like on a personal level. Like I've played with some of them. I think one of the ones that got kicked recently has been following me on Twitter for quite a while. So
Wow.
you know, yeah, FaZe like on the opposite end. That was kind of my whole personality as like
Oh no.
my teenage years.
Did
That
I
was me.
say cringe? I meant super
I
cool.
didn't
They're
play
so
in my
cool,
clan.
bro. Dude, you
No,
probably
man.
killed
In
Deki in
my
a past
clan
life or
tag.
something, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, FaZe, I was an optic boy.
I liked
Oh.
Optic too. But like to a lot of people in that community, to put it in perspective, that was like the top goal because everybody knew FaZe in the Call of Duty community.
That's true.
So everybody that did montages and editing and all that stuff, they all had one common goal of like being like the top clan. And like one of them that got kicked recently, his name was FaZe Kitty. He's been in it for 10 years.
Jeez.
And sadly, he just revealed that I think he made like $3,000 over the course of 10 years.
Wasn't
From
paying,
FaZe?
like any of their people.
No, they weren't.
Why the fuck? Okay.
They did not really pay out anybody that, you know, rep their name.
I think the only people that would ever get paid were the people that were paying, like they would pay for their name. Like, was it Nick Merckx or something like that, right?
Nick Merckx is in FaZe, yeah.
He's in FaZe?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he gets. I think he gets paid to be in FaZe.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So they take the money and they're like, Nick Merckx, you want like $40 bajillion? Here you go. And then like the other people that are like doing all the
Because-
goddamn footwork, they're like, you want a peanut?
Damn.
Back then, it was like a ladder.
You guys
can't
get a pizza
afford to pay
party.
you. We can't afford to pay you
Yeah,
guys.
honestly. They
Pizza
had
Hut!
treated him-
Yeah, we go to Chuck E. Cheese for a fucking hour. Oh
they
my
treated him
Christ.
very unfairly in terms of pay because it was like a ladder. Like they had other clans, so like you would join one, and then that would be like another step to another clan, and then they would recruit people primarily kind of from another clan called Soar.
Oh, I remember.
So
Sword.
they would pull
Yeah.
people from that clan, and then a lot of them joined FaZe eventually. So a lot of those people were no names, basically. And then having FaZe in a name put them on the map, and people gave them recognition. But nowadays they're just recruiting people that have recognition already.
Yeah.
Like Mercs.
To sell
I think-
merch.
I guess it's just clout over talent now at this point.
Yeah, they want
like,
to
if you
push
have-
merch and make money.
Yeah. So they're going into like a new wave. Like Call of Duty is not even part of the picture anymore, I think. It's just like
They're just like
pure
clout.
React content,
Yeah.
clout content, like hype content.
aside from then they have their pro teams, but
Yeah,
they kept their
so
pro
FaZe
teams.
has been gone. It's been going through a lot of eras. Like they started with like trick shotting, sniping, and in Modern Warfare 2, and then they went pro. They had
That's
pro
what I remember.
teams, and then they had like the whole corporate phase where they were just doing, I don't know what, like a different
Snoop
bunch of
Dogg.
different talent stuff,
Yeah, Snoop.
recruiting
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg, and now Banks bought them over. I think it's still like 51% corporate, and Banks owns like 49% of it now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So
Yeah, but
he's
the
still
company
making.
they also lost like a ton of value. Like they lost like an insane amount of value.
Yeah, because they
No
went
one
public.
cares anymore. Like no one, not, like FaZe doesn't carry the same weight that it had like
10
It
years
back
ago.
in the Call of Duty days.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't.
But I
And
think
it's
it's. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Say what you were gonna say, Dana.
no, I was just gonna say it's good because like the games that like made them popular aren't like the same style of game anymore, right? Like it's like Call of Duty, like a trick shot in like old Call of Duty was way more impressive than it is like now, where you can like, oh yeah, I've ramped up the ADS of my gun to where like it's literally it's like a submachine gun. So I've got a sniper rifle that's like a submachine gun and zoom and like all this other shit and one shots to a big toe. Like it's not as impressive as it
Yeah.
used to be.
I think it's just the
I
fact
think-
it's old news.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it's also
not-
just old news. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is old news in that sense, but to me, I think FaZe. It's also because of all the controversy they've had as well. Does
Yeah.
not help them. Like they don't. I don't think
Yeah,
FaZe
yeah.
has the good public. Not that they had a great public image before, but they were always known and like for like their gaming and all that stuff, and now they're just known for cringe, and like they're also known for being
Exactly.
assholes. Like FaZe is at this point known for like being piece of shit to women as well, like with the whole Stranger Things thing, because like that poor girl got fucking like roasted online for just existing, amongst other stuff, and they kicked off the one other girl that was like associated with them. They're
Yeah,
not
the
like-
comments under her post too, when she like came out and said that she was removed and whatnot, like there was a lot of like super shitty people in there apparently, like being
Yeah.
like, well, who are
Wow.
you even, right? Like
And it's like
Bro.
you're lucky to even be able to have FaZe in your name.
That
and shit
is
like that. It's
crazy.
just like, brother, what?
Yeah, no, I
Like,
saw that as well, and I was like, first of all, you're just some random dickhead on Twitter. Like, what are you talking about?
yeah,
Who are you? She's made more money than you'll ever see. Let's be
Mhm.
realistic.
guaranteed anime profile pictures is what I'm saying.
Or some white dude like just like this one, this profile picture, you know, with his camera down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking
I'm
down.
always like
Yeah.
those guys. I never understand it because I'm like, listen,
With
I
sunglasses
don't
on?
think that wealth should be or like how much money you have should be like a judge of if somebody's better than you. But if you're gonna say who the fuck are you to somebody that has way more money than you gotta fucking know your place sometimes. Like she's well known,
Yeah.
I would say. She's not the biggest streamer ever, but she's well known.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the field that she's in, she's definitely well known. If you know Call of Duty streamers, you know her. 100%.
I just wish that some of the kicked players got some sort of severance package for all the years they've spent and
Bro.
time they've spent dedicated to that team.
I wish they would have gotten paid when they were there.
Yeah,
It sounds like FaZe was like a pyramid scheme. I'm not gonna lie.
It pretty much
Like-
was. 'cause they
like
would
the
take all
people at
money
the
and just pay top
Work the
dogs.
hardest, and then the people at the top get paid because merch sales and shit like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then they have that money to be able to hire people like Snoop Dogg and Nick Merckx and shit like that, right? So it's
Yeah.
like the people at the top made all the money, the people at the bottom were doing all the legwork, and it's like that's a pyramid scheme, dog. Like
I tell 3 friends, you tell 3 friends, and then your third
Exactly.
friend tells 3 friends.
Yeah.
well, a
it
lot
was
of people, the reasoning for joining in the first place was just like that was their ticket to success. Honestly,
Yeah.
once you were in FaZe, like everybody knew you. Your
Yeah.
channel, your personal channel would blow up.
It was like a clout thing, and I think that's how they pay their
You're
members.
like, oh, you're gonna get more viewers.
bullshit.
coming to your
Yeah.
stuff.
It's like landing a big role in like a movie or something.
It
But
was
you don't even
mainly
get paid for
exposure.
the movie.
but the actor still gets paid.
Yeah.
Like,
They were paid
It's-
exposure.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
that's
that's what it
I
was.
hate that term so much. There were so many fucking like if like similar thing like artists online and shit like that. They do work for big names or something like that, and then they're offered payment and exposure. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you can gargle my balls. Are you kidding
No,
me?
I think that like being paid exposure is bullshit, but that is what they did. I agree with you. If you want to pay people exposure, you should eat a dick because people need
Yeah.
money to survive.
Like they're like, oh, your payment's exposure. It's like, yeah, but I'm also getting your fucking name out there more too. Like, what do you
we're both
want?
getting exposed here, dumbass. Like,
Yeah.
I got my money.
So dumb.
But yeah, no. In my eyes, FaZe, aside from their pro teams, is a bunch of pieces of shit. Like the current, or at least
I don't know
thanks
much about the
for what
pro
he's been
teams.
doing. Their pro teams are actually pretty fucking gnarly. I think they have a pretty gnarly CS team and COD team as well. I don't know about anything else.
I
I'm
know.
pretty sure their CS team is one of the best.
They have the best Smash player right now. Fargo.
I don't think I know.
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
Fargo. Like this, like he's
Is
like
he
he's like a 15-year-old Mexican kid. Yeah.
Bruh. Who's the guy that Moist has?
Moist
Most
has
critical.
FaZe has a ton of
Light.
diversity in
They
their
have
pro
he has
teams.
Light. Moist has Light and fuck.
Is
He's a Diddy Kong player. I can't remember what his name is. Aaron, I think.
Moist
A-
Esports? They have Cola,
Oh, they got Cola too. Yeah,
Aaron,
yeah, yeah.
Goblin, and Light.
I don't like Goblin, but yeah.
They also have Moki, Zane, and Joshman. I don't know who those are.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know any of
melee
these names, dude.
players.
Oh, melee players, yeah.
I don't follow the pro scene that
Then they
much.
formerly had Meister. But I think
They had
Light was
Meister?
yeah.
Huh.
This. Apparently the first person they ever got was Cola. If I'm reading these dates right. I don't know if these dates are American style or European style.
Cola stopped playing for a while though, so like that's probably why I didn't realize.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This guy's name Aaron's
Spargo's
name is
literally
just
phase.
Aaron. Imagine I'm gonna go by my first name as my pro name. Just Tim.
Timothy. Face Timothy.
Hi, I'm Timothy.
If I was to ever join some, not that I'm good enough to ever join a pro team. If I were to ever join an org, I would want to work with.
Yo,
Moist.
FaZe
What
Decky
would
kinda
be your
hard.
pro team name? What would be your pro team name?
I wouldn't have. I would just be. who I am
Con
now.
Dulce?
Yeah, I would just go by that.
Face
Con Dulce?
I would just take the Dulce part, probably, if anything.
Nah, be Moist. Don't go phase. Go
Moist,
Moist.
Con Dulce.
No,
Moist
like,
Con
I
Dulce.
think- No, like I think I would never join like any sort of org, probably. But if I did, it would probably be Moist Critical C, because I like his content and I think he's cool. He seems like.
And I feel like he'd probably treat his people good.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, wait, isn't his like Ludwig too? Like they have like a joint
Ludwig
thing.
as well.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they recently brought on another thing as well. I believe I could be wrong.
Mm.
Like they got like an actual like other bigger thing to join them, but it's that way they can get into bigger places.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because a lot of I think that they were fronting the money for a lot of it, and for some things like you just need like ridiculous amounts of money to get certain slots. Like I think like COD is like millions, like Overwatch is like million. Like a lot of the things are like you have to drop buku bucks to be in there. Like you can't.
Why is Overwatch worth anything?
I think it used to be. I don't know what it is now.
I'm
used to
sorry.
have-
I know you love Overwatch, Decky.
They used to
But
have like teams for
I
like
do
every
not watch-
state, right?
I do not watch pro Overwatch.
I don't think anyone does anymore. Like,
I had a friend that
It-
loved that shit.
No, I think it's still. I think it's still popular. The
how?
11 months
the
ago-
OWL is still popular.
So according to
FaZe Decky would kind of go hard. Not gonna lie.
I'm trying to see how much of the
That was
franchise
not my name back then.
how much of the franchise spots for League? I want to see. LCS spot for League of Legends costs $10 million.
Oh, wait, that's it.
The spot.
Something light.
Something like that's.
Oh wait, no,
pocket
they
change.
sold their esports. Oh, they sold the slot for $10 million. So if you want a slot, it's roughly about $10 million to get in with an existing thing.
Jesus.
New teams would be subject to an additional $3 million.
Jesus.
You'd have to pay 13. Yeah, no, that's why like Moist is like, you know, they're big, like they're growing, but they're not like, I don't think Moist or Ludwig's looking to spend $13 million to get into League of Legends.
Yeah, that's the thing too, right? Like a lot of people don't realize is like a lot of like esports teams don't make money. Like they just
esports
don't.
bleeds money. It's not that it doesn't make
Yes.
money, they bleed money. But I think
Yes.
that they're getting into Valorant too, I think, but they're like stuck in like the amateur stuff right now, but they're trying to get because Valorant has like a way to promote into like the big leagues, but you have to like it just takes time.
You gotta earn your way up there. Yeah.
Pretty much. But it's not necessarily you have to earn your way up there, it's that it takes a lot of time to earn your way up there. But they're trying to like investigate like the process and like go up and stuff. But they've been. It's kind of crazy because I remember when they first started doing it in Smash was a couple years ago. Like I was looking, I think it was like 3 years ago. They started Moist Critical started with like the Smash stuff, and now they're doing
Yes.
Rocket League. They're doing a bunch of other
It was
games.
during COVID. Fucking, I remember that he announced that, and he
Yeah.
was just so like, cause like a bunch of pro people just got dropped, right? Like, cause like
Yes.
some other team or some other org, Panda. It was when Panda Global
Yes,
fucking
when they were
tanked.
doing that thing.
Yes, when
Yes,
it came out
fuck
that they
that
were doing all
company.
much shady
Yeah,
shit.
fuck that guy.
Moist
Hope
was
that guy
like,
gets
"We're
hanged.
gonna come out here because like he like loves Smash, something like that." He was like, "I'm gonna come out here, I'll put my foot in this, and I'm gonna try to help." And so him and Ledwig
That's
both
actually,
like hosted a bunch of tournaments and shit.
but it wasn't just that. So what I know what you're talking about, but I think it started a little bit before that because what happened was there was a player that needed help to get into a tournament, so he helped him at first, and that's when he started his Moist thing. I don't remember. Who
I
the
believe
first
it
one.
was. I think it might have been Light.
It was either Light or Cola, whichever one it was. He signed on one of them, and then he signed on like another player like right after.
Damn.
But it all started with Smash. It was around that, and then
Mhm.
I think shortly after is when Ludwig joined, but then they had all the issues with the Panda situation. Because Ludwig joined shortly after, but it was after. It wasn't like right off the
Yeah.
rip.
It wasn't off the bat. Yeah, because like
It
there was
was
like a big
Moist, and then it went
announcement
to
about
Moist
it.
Moguls, and now it's like Moist something. I don't remember what.
It's like Moist Esports now or something like that.
Yeah. Either way, if I was ever joining a thing, if I wanted to go pro on something, I would want Moist to pick me up.
Right on.
If you had your own esports team, like you could afford it, fund it, all that shit, what would you name it?
Coño.
Excuse me. What was that? Did you say Ponyo?
No,
Coño.
What is that?
Tim, care to explain?
no. I would go by.
No. I'm the only one. I don't understand what you're saying. I think I'm the only one who doesn't. Help.
I think I would. I don't know. What would you go with?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't like.
NFP
I have my
probably.
yeah NFP, nefarious porpoises. Dumb play on words. It's like stuck with me for a really long time. That's what the little porp guy is for my stream.
He's a
like
nefarious
the little
porpoise.
this little guy. He's the porp from nefarious porpoises.
I don't know what I would name mine.
I don't know. I would just want to join Moist. I wouldn't want to
Decky?
run an org because then I'm also bleeding money if I'm ever at that point.
Well, no, I'm saying like it's like a successful org and like it's like actually like
the
making
successful
you money.
orgs. The only orgs that ever really were breaking even was TSM, and that's when they had that whole like crypto dude funding them, and then that fell apart because that crypto dude lost all the money.
Well, okay, we'll say you like you won like
I won the lottery.
$1 billion lottery, right? Like you're like you are fucking set. And this is just like
Yo, I know what I
a
would do in this
fucking
situation.
goof.
I would tell Moist, let me join in, and I'll fund the league thing. I'll buy the franchise slot.
The league slot, huh?
I would buy the
You
league
would be
slot
part
for
of
them.
that league team too?
No, I wouldn't be part of the league team. I would buy the slot for them, but I just want to be part of it. I would want to work with them.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
What
gonna be this
Decky, what do you
angel
got?
investor. For
Yeah.
what?
What would your esports team name be?
Jackie's Dick Slingers. I don't know.
DDS?
Extinguishers is crazy.
Decky's Dick Slingers goes crazy.
I need to know right now.
Oh, I know what I would
What
do.
the icon would be for that? Like, what's
You know
what? I
the
would do
logo
know.
for
I changed my
Decky's
mind.
Dick Slinger?
You already know.
It's
I would
a
be
slingshot
Dulce's-
with a dick on it. That's what it is.
Yeah. I would be Dulce's cum socks, and I would have a crusty sock as my thing.
Oh my
A crusty sock.
god!
It's just a crusty sock
No.
with a fucking lollipop on it or something.
No,
Yes. Oh my god, that would be so good.
no.
You're the one asked.
Alright.
I don't know what to tell you.
Martine, what's yours now? What
Okay,
were
you want me to be
I
serious
changed
or the
my mind.
fake one?
I changed my mind. I would be Dulce's tributes, and it would be like a jar.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
It would tribute jar.
You guys want my
y-
serious one or my fake one?
Both.
All right, my serious one. It'd probably be sad because that's like my whole thing when like in Apex, the Sag 69 clan.
Sag 69. Yeah.
Yeah. But my fake one would be like TN for truck nuts and corporate. And it would be a picture of truck nuts as my logo.
Nice.
What are truck nuts?
Truck nuts.
You don't know what truck nuts are?
You know what truck nuts are?
Is that a thing? What is
Yeah.
that?
Look
It's-
up truck nuts. Look up truck nuts.
Do I want to?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not terrible.
Like,
yeah, they're just like
Are
they
they
hang.
like testicles you attach to your bumper?
Yep.
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
chrome
okay.
thing that you can like haul things with. You just hang some truck nuts off that shit,
I love whenever I
and
see
now
those.
your truck has a pair of nuts.
Yeah.
I love when I see those truck nuts. I'm not gonna lie.
They're fucking
It-
funny, dude.
Never seen
It's
those.
very popular in the South
So
because I gotta
Uh,
show how big
it
my
must be an
nuts
inside
are.
joke.
there is an inside joke because when I first played American Truck Sim, I needed a name for it, and I think was it you, Dana, that gave me the idea? I don't even remember, dude. But I remember like putting in truck nuts. Oh, I did. I think it was my idea. I was like truck nuts and then incorporate.
Yeah, because I took your name. I
Yeah.
worked under you.
Yeah, you worked under me. It was truck nuts with the Z incorporate. So it's like Inc. Truck Nuts Inc. And so yeah, that'll be my name. TNI Truck Nuts Inc.
What was the? There was a name we were gonna change the guild name to in Apex.
It was just Sag for all I remember, but I don't remember anything before that.
We were gonna change it to something. Was it Sneaky Bunnies?
Oh, it was it might have been Sneaky Bunnies, yeah.
Yeah, because you're alert or whatever.
Yeah,
'cause,
it
like,
was Sneaky but you are a sneaky bunny.
yeah, we were gonna change to that. We just never did. We
Holy
just kept
schmoly
forgetting.
gaming. There we go, that's it.
Holy schmoly gaming.
That's my org.
Have a bunch of members call them all your bunnies.
HSG.
Like fucking Hugh Hefner.
HSG.
HSG.
Holy schmoly gaming.
Holy schmoly.
Anyway. We are
We are at the 2 hour,
2-hour
15
mark.
minute mark.
I
so
wanted to
probably
end at 1:30, but here we are.
with a lot of
I'm
good
sorry.
topics to talk about today. Sorry.
It's okay,
I'm
it's okay.
sorry.
We had
There's
a
a
lot
lot
to talk
that
about.
happened this week.
Yeah.
No, today
Past 2 weeks.
and we skipped one piece of news.
What?
It was the neon thing.
Oh. Yeah, who cares about that guy?
Neon?
You always say this, and we always want to talk about these things, and Marty's like, "Oh, what the?"
I don't like the guy. Why do I
And it's
want to
not
talk
about
about
No
him?
like-
one
him.
does.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
who you're
talking
it's like when we talk about him, it's just giving him like even like the slightest bit of like exposure, kind of just like gives me the
Exposure,
ick.
We're small.
We're small, but we have a small following,
Right,
and that
you
small
do
following will look
realize-
up Neon and be like, "Oh my god, fuck this guy
Marty,
too."
It's
You
not
do
even.
realize-
He was just
You watch
involved.
quiz. So like he's he'll always have his exposure.
You can lick my truck.
I
nuts.
don't know who you're talking about.
He's
keep
a
it that
little
way.
Kick streamer that's just cringe and
Yeah.
Yes, you
Oh,
probably
He's the
Kick
worst
streamer
kind of
hangs-
person, dude. He's just the worst.
hangs
Yes,
out with
but recently he got into a car with a dude that's notorious for like doing illegal
Street
things.
racing. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
and they got into a hit and run accident on live stream, and yeah, that was that situation.
Did he get banned?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but Cake
Good.
bans people unless I'm on like 2 seconds later. Cake ban's not real.
No.
Dana, for reference, people have committed crimes on multiple occasions on that site and gotten like 2-day bans, not even. and then
Yeah.
come back.
I tried Kick and then I found out that like literally anybody who really wanted to could just be like, "Hey, where's Dana live?" And like they'd be like, "Oh yeah, he lives here." And I'm like, "Wait, what?
Yeah. Your privacy
Why-
is not very.
Why
secure
does
on that site.
everyone have access to this?"
Yeah, but it's not good.
It was
I wouldn't want to
bad.
be associated with Kick streamer. I've never seen a good headline about a Kick streamer. It's always something heinous. It's always like man shows butthole live on stream and then gets banned for 24 hours.
But it's one of those things where it was like I was like, it's really hard to gain traction in Twitch now, and I was like, it
I
might be worth
understand
it.
Kick is no
trying.
different. I think it's just as hard. Like there's no like good
Yeah.
real exposure on that platform either.
Yeah, there's not.
no, there's not. Yeah,
Just the same thing.
Plus the privacy issues,
it's
and I'm just
there,
like, I'm
yeah,
just gonna
it's the
go
privacy
back
issues,
to.
the other issues, and then it's also you're associated with those absolute
Yeah.
mouth-breathing mongrels that stream on that website.
Mhm.
Such
Yeah.
as Neon. Neon is just one of them. One of the mongrels on that website.
But Neon, yeah, also a lot of Kick streamers view bot. Like, not that Twitch streamers don't, but Kick streamers view bot way more.
Mhm.
Because there's
'Cause we can
no
get
way
away
that
with it.
Neon's actually famous for these things. Like a lot
No,
of the
he's
things are
been
like,
caught view butting.
yeah,
So he does that as well. He's just grouped in with the rest of the people that are just shitty on that platform.
yes,
Plus, he has a very punchable face.
Yes.
he does. He deserves
He
it.
does
If
have
Neon
a
were to get
That's
like
why
his
I'm only talking about him, man. I just want to punch him in the
yeah, but
fucking
like
mouth.
if he got his shit rocked on, if you saw a clip of him getting his absolute shit rocked, you tell me you wouldn't want to.
I would.
Like,
I'll talk about that. I'll talk about
Yeah,
that. I don't mind that.
It's so weird. Like I would expect Tim or Martine to say that, but like I don't look at Decky and like expect to hear like, man, he's just got such a punchable.
No, but you gotta understand.
I just don't
No,
expect
Dude,
Decky to
you
say
need to
something
see
like
his
that.
face, dude.
Dana, I promise you, you see his face, and then you watch like 4 clips of his. You're like, yeah, if he got a shit rocked, I'd watch it. Like, there's other people who are like, oh, if he got his
Or
ass
tiny
beat,
hands.
yeah, like, yeah. No, but, like, you know, it's like there's streamers like, oh, if they got beat up, I'd be like, oh man, I feel so bad for them. If it was Neon, I'd be like, hell yeah, brother.
His Twitter profile picture
go.
alone just makes me want to.
This is a kind of a dead name
Yeah,
now, but like I feel like Leafy was someone like that. They had a very
Oh yeah,
punchable
Leafy.
face.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
guy.
but Leafy was at least funny. Neon's not even funny.
No, he wasn't.
Leafy had some. Okay, Leafy was
Leafy
funny
was
sometimes.
Dog.
Leafy was funny sometimes,
No.
and then like other times he was just an asshole.
No.
No, I think that you would say that Leafy's funny before you say Neon's funny.
Oh yeah, I think anybody would say that. I
I,
don't think
I,
he tries to go for funny either.
Yeah, Neon's the type of person, Dana, for reference, that he would be like, "Chat, should I put this 4-foot dildo up my ass or not?" And then like they would be like, "Let's do it." And he'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't do that, guys. Why would you do this?"
He would be one of those groups of people that would go to like malls and like insult somebody into their
Yes.
face and
Yeah.
walk around with a bodyguard so they can't do
Yeah,
anything.
he was one of those guys. He'd be like, "Oh, your wife's a fat bitch," and then like he
Yeah.
would be like, "Bodyguard, save me."
Yeah, he would stand behind a bodyguard.
man,
be
that'd
surprised
be
when he
real
did that.
unfortunate when I fold him and then I get folded by his bodyguard, but I'm making sure he gets folded first.
Man,
Like,
Like
your bodyguard's not gonna be quick enough,
you
brother.
ever
I don't.
my only clips I like from Neon was whenever his bodyguard was like, "Stop being a dumbass. You're gonna get us all shot one of these days."
I'm pretty sure the Blicky's gonna be faster than the bodyguard, but whatever.
But no, his bodyguard has been like, "You better stop or we're gonna get shot." Like,
Oh.
it's like that.
Like,
But you also know Neon's never doing that thing. If he were to do that shit in Texas, I've only been here for a while.
Yeah.
I promise you, it would never. It would be over. It would be like one
He
time.
would get his shit rocked, definitely.
I'm sorry,
Texas
but
are very rough people around here sometimes. There's a lot of nice people out here, but like it would be bad.
I'd have gotten fired as a bodyguard. I'd have been like, "Oh damn, that's a fucking shame. Maybe you should have ran your mouth."
By the bodyguard.
This looks like you just learned a life lesson, son.
Ronnie said that he fired that bodyguard. That's probably why he got
Oh,
arrested.
shit.
Because
Yeah.
that bodyguard would be like, "You're breaking laws. We got to stop." And then he would be like, "No, I'm not." And then he would get in trouble. And then yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
The
pretty sure his
bodyguard should have punched him.
Constantly going around getting in trouble.
Yeah, no,
No,
that's like
that's the
you
worst
guys
kind
remember.
of person.
I know we're going over time by a lot, but you guys remember that time that like somebody had like harassed this dude? Like it was one of like a Neon equivalent. Like he was harassing some dude at a mall, and then the guy shot him.
Yes,
Yeah, we
I
talked
was,
about
I
it.
was talking about that yesterday. It was a delivery driver. There was a guy harassing a delivery driver,
That's
and
not what I was talking about. It was at the mall.
oh
It was
yeah,
at
it was at a mall.
Was it? Was he?
Yeah, he was a fucking food delivery guy picking up some food, and this guy was fucking with
Oh,
him.
okay. Yes, it was that. Okay. I
And
didn't
he
know
was
it a
like, "Go get away from me!" And the guy
yes,
kept
he
fucking
told
with
him,
him,
like,
and so he just like
twice.
pulled out a gun, was like, "Bam!" and shot him in the stomach, and just walked off.
That
I was
was
just like,
I don't like want anybody to die, but like some of those people deserve it. Why are you harassing people in public?
like the reaction from the delivery driver was extreme.
It was extreme. Like that
But
was
at the
even one of
same
worst
time,
people.
like play
There's
dumb games,
definitely-
win dumb prizes, right?
Yeah,
Like
there's definitely people that harass people in worse ways. Like was it Jack
Yes.
Doherty? Jack Doherty like actually attempts to physically assault people and then hides behind security. If he got shot, like nobody would be surprised. This other dude was
Yeah.
like harassing this dude, but like in a mild way. Did he deserve it? Probably not to get shot. What if he got his ass beat? That would have been deserved.
But like
Yeah,
at the same time,
100%.
it's like you don't know. Like if I'm in the delivery driver's position, like I talked about this yesterday. I almost got mugged yesterday for my food.
Yeah.
And like I had delivery food, and these 2 college guys tried to mug me for it. Right? Like you never know when someone's just gonna be fucking crazy.
So,
And it's like he had no way of knowing if this guy was just fooling around and making a TikTok. Anybody can hold their phone up and say they're making a TikTok video or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Like
And then it's also
crazy.
on the other end, as a TikToker, you dumb motherfucker. At least with the scripted YouTubers or like the scripted pranksters, they knew they weren't going to get in any real danger.
Yeah.
You're harassing random people because you're a
Mhm.
dumbass that didn't realize all that prank stuff back in the day was scripted. You're gonna actually get like that guy found out. You're gonna get shot, especially in America where guns are. Not to go into like the whole gun thing. People have guns or knives. You're gonna get stabbed.
Fucking humble. Was it good food?
Oh, that reminds me
It
of
was
like
Five Guys. I was carrying Five Guys.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh,
You
yeah.
Five
get
Guys.
for
Yeah,
Five
I'd
Guys,
still,
that's like $100 worth of food, baby.
yeah, I'd rob a
Yeah,
bitch for Five
expensive
Guys. No, I'm
food.
just kidding.
Yeah, 4 burgers, baby. That's like $500. We gotta
Yeah.
run.
What was I gonna say? It reminds me of like the Chapapi Muñano guy. That guy's fucking obnoxious. I never liked his content.
No, I didn't like it either.
Who's
That
the
was
one
so
guy?
long ago. I forgot about that guy.
I hope he fades into irrelevance.
He's like in
Yeah, he did.
Europe. He's like in Europe, and he's like a black kid who.
Oh
like,
my
harasses people
God.
So much, and he was like
He
on a
would-
TV show or something like that, and he was like, I don't
Yes.
care. Like,
yes, he broke into a dude's house.
yeah, like that's somebody who needs their ass beat. Like that's
Was he
I
a
still
streamer?
find it funny though. Yeah,
TikTok
no,
person.
he's like a
TikToker?
TikToker YouTuber dude, and he kept being he was getting in trouble with that. But he would get arrested, but because he was so young, they couldn't do anything about it. So like there would be no point. basically.
like he kept doing shit because like he knew he wouldn't get in actual trouble.
Yeah.
And I'm
He-
like,
Every comment under that though would always be let him try that shit in America, because like the thing it wasn't just that like he was harassing people in like a restaurant, let's say, like he would go there and harass people.
he like hurt an old man and shit.
Yeah, he
like
was
he like
hurting
jumped on an
people.
old guy's back and like hurt him
Yeah.
badly.
Not only that, he broke into a family's house while they were all there and like harassed them. You break into my house, I promise to God. I don't even have to shoot you. I will stab the fuck out of you. Like
Minimum,
you
you're
in my
eating a
house.
chair to the face. Like
That's what I'm saying.
especially if I'm at my dinner table and some random person comes busting in my house with a TikTok, like trying to make a TikTok video.
I will.
I hope you catch the footage before you're unconscious. Like,
Yeah, no, because like, if you survive, it would be a miracle from God if you break into my house like that. What the fuck are you doing?
it's insane. Like that's
It's
something
a
where like
genuine,
that I would fear for my life if some dude
That's it,
breaks
no.
in and he's like, it wasn't just like he broke in like make it TikTok. He was like threatening them and stuff like that. So it's like, you come into my house and you threaten me.
it's a genuine concern because not too long ago, people were actually breaking in, like in Canada. There was like a
Mhm.
stabbing spree. People breaking into homes,
Jesus.
just
Yeah,
stabbing
no,
random
you
people.
never know what somebody's gonna do. You break into my house, you say you're recording a TikTok. I don't know if you're doing a TikTok or a snuff film. What the fuck is going on here?
I've got
I'm not
I got
wrong, though.
my iPhone, my new iPhone, so I can make this sweet snuff film.
I don't know what they're doing, but you're
Look at
breaking
the
into my
cameras.
house.
That
One of
camera
us is
probably go
ended up on
hard.
a snuff film right now. That's all I'm saying. And it's not gonna be me. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, either way, it's ridiculous. Like the current culture, like I feel like this isn't just a TikTok thing. I feel like the kids nowadays online don't realize that the prank videos they watched back in the day
Were staged.
scripted.
Yes.
They were staged. Yes, they were staged, scripted videos. These weren't people harassing real people. There was some random dude they gave $100 and they said, "Hey, can we do this to you real quick?" It's like,
Sometimes those pranks are harmless too. Like it's like a standing statue, and then they like move.
Yeah.
You know,
or
like
it'd be like
Well-
using a shake weight in public. Those
Yeah.
are never actual people. What the fuck are you talking about?
anyway.
But the people always got to up the ante though.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
always got to make it. This one's real this time, and then now we're gonna move on to actually harassing people.
But yeah, the
Well, if
current
enough of them
prankster-
get hurt, then maybe they'll stop.
the current prank landscape right now, and I'm putting prank in quotation marks in my brain, are either people in a country where they're young and they know they won't get in trouble, or people hiding behind a bodyguard and harassing people. And it's not even like they're pranking people; they're just harassing people.
Yeah, it's harassment and like assault. Like
Yeah.
it's not that's
Yeah.
not a prank. That's a crime.
Yeah, they're calling it a prank, but they're harassing people. It's like
It's just a prank, bro. It's all like, sure.
like, the prank's gonna be when like the police are called because you're like threatening my wife or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like for like whatever they're doing. Either way.
In the same vein, to wrap this up, there's clips of Aiden Ross, AI Aiden Ross. So Aiden Ross is like this, probably the biggest kick streamer right now. He
Yeah.
is probably really like super rich. I think
He's
that's
mega
at least
rich.
what
I think he's
I think-
very rich.
yeah, or at least that's what people think him to be. So
He
There's,
has
like-
deals from Kick though, like paid
Yeah,
deals,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's like friends with the founder of Kick, who was also probably like mega, maybe like a billionaire. I don't know, but
Well,
yeah,
he
he's
owns
got
the gambling
money.
site, so yeah.
Yeah, so probably a billionaire. So Aiden Ross also has money on his end. But people have been going around on this Monkey app, which is what he also uses, I think, sometimes on stream. So Monkey was like, it's the equivalent of Omegle because Omegle shut down a few years ago. So this new app came to its
For
replacement.
good reason, by the way. Fuck that website. They had a lot of weird shit going down on there.
I'm pretty sure Monkey app is the same thing. To be
Yeah.
honest, it's still probably pretty bad. But there was like this person going around impersonating Aiden Ross with AI, like showing his whole setup and background and everything, and using his voice. And he was going around finding random people on the app saying that he was live and, hey, I'll give you like $3,000 if you punch your monitor, break it, and then break your keyboard, and toss your PC off of a balcony or something.
Damn.
And people were actually doing that. Like there's real clips on Twitter getting fooled by this Aiden Ross AI and destroying their expensive setups that probably cost them a lot to save up. And these are like gullible kids too, so
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty sad that they're getting fooled by this stuff.
Okay,
But yeah, that's just been going around as well.
that is sad, but at the same time, like, why would you ever trust a stranger? Like, you don't fucking know this person, even if it was the real Aiden Ross. Like, he's not legally bound to like
Give you money.
give you the money.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why would you do something so stupid? Like,
Because they see that he does have money, like he could be like Mr. Beast. People know Mr. Beast has like unlimited amounts of money. So like, yeah, I'll do whatever you say. If it's for content, if people want to see me break my PC or whatever, I'll do it. If you're gonna pay me like $3,000, like you say you are. But
I'd be getting that shit in writing.
Impression. I would be getting that shit in my bank account first.
Yep.
I'm not,
PayPal me right
Yeah.
now.
I'm not even PayPal. I want to see that in my account. Like use
Yeah.
Zelle 3,000.
Wire transfer.
Yes.
ACH that hoe.
Right now, like if you want me to break my PC, you're paying me now, and you're sending me a new PC. I'll break this one. I'll break this one on the monitors. You buy me new monitors too. I'll break whatever you want me to break.
I like your monitors, man. Don't do that.
I like my monitors too, but if you're paying me like a couple grand to get some new ones, like I'll do it.
at the same time, these are kids, so
They are dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
they're
dude.
gonna be dumb.
Oh,
So they'll
life
do whatever.
lesson.
They
Yeah.
see like a
Life
big
lesson.
figure. Everybody knows who he is, so they're probably gonna trust
I
him.
only know him because his sis is hot as fuck.
True. His sister is hot. You guys ever been on
She
Eagle?
is.
Don't lie.
No.
Back in the day.
Don't lie.
Back in the day.
I don't know what it is.
Tim?
It's like it's video
I had
chat.
gone on there, but very rarely.
I gone
It
on
was when
there.
I was younger though.
I met
it was
It's
like
a
video
bunch of
chatting with
people.
strangers.
Yeah, video chatting with strangers.
I was on there when I was
Or
like
you can text chat
a
too.
teenager.
I feel like that would just involve a lot of wiener.
That's where I
Yeah,
saw my
yeah,
first
like it.
penises besides my dad's.
I thought somebody jerking off on there. Yeah.
People jerk off because minors go on there.
Mm-hmm. Me.
They want to find other people to hang out with,
Saw a
and
lot of penises on there.
you don't know what person you're gonna get next, and sometimes it's a dick.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I got like maybe like
No, I've never been on that site.
yeah, I got like a lot of dicks on there. Maybe like one pair of tits. That's it. Anyway, with that in mind,
That's one of our longest podcasts.
quite long. We'll be back
It's my
next week,
fault.
most likely. Hopefully, if nothing goes wrong.
I won't have to watch Chip as closely next week. He's gonna be a little bit like he's gonna reach his 2-week period.
All right, we will be back next week, Tuesdays. Probably same time, 4:30. If not, maybe a little bit late by 5. And then yeah, hope you guys make good choices. Don't fall in. We'll see you guys in the next one. Where's my fingers? There they are.
Dana, do it too. Dana, you have to have it. We have to get you a new model, but like one that does this because you've been a guest enough
It's like
times.
we
that
talk
need it.
about this, Dana.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Get your shit together, man.
No,
Bye,
I just need
guys.
like